Just handing over to Jim Halligan, who's on the pit wall now, who's going to give us an introduction to some of our Superbike riders. That's over to you now, Jim.
And welcome to the first Superbike race of the Sunday afternoon. We're going to join on the middle of the front row, Derek Shields, one of the championship contenders. Derek, all to play for this weekend?
Yeah, it is. To be honest, yesterday was great racing. You know, hats off to Tommy there. He done a great job in it, and I'm just having a bit of rear end grip issue. My bike has its characteristics. It works well, and the other bikes work better in other areas. So it's sort of a balancing act. So we made a slight change. We'll see how it goes. Be good racing anyway.
Yeah, you swapped places every second lap yesterday. Really exciting racing. Really. What about Macau? Any word on Macau this year? Is it going to run?
They're talking about running it, but I'm not going. They're talking about a 7-day lockdown in a COVID hotel and then another 3 in another hotel. So it's not for me.
No, I wouldn't. I agree totally. I wouldn't be going for that one either. So mid of the front row, great place to be starting.
Yeah. If I can get it off the line, yeah, it'll be all right. It's a hard bike to get off the line, but yeah, sure, look, we'll get stuck in there and give it a bash.
Well done. Great to see you here, Derek. And we'll go over to the other championship contender, Thomas O'Grady. Tom, pressures for tires, lad.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like, literally, we were taking it race to race, pushing the absolute limit. I think yesterday we were 0.1 of a second off the lap record on this track. You know what I mean? It's amazing. Racing with Derek, Elliot, all the lads, it's unbelievable. Like, and I just can't thank all the great people I have around me. All my friends and family are here this weekend. It's magic.
Yeah, we might even get an interview with your crew chief later on.
Oh, maybe, yeah. And like, there's been loads of people watching online, like Simo and all the lads over in Scotland. They're always wishing us well to watch it online. And the Cockney kids, you know what I mean? So you'll see all the lads there watching. It's brilliant. Just a lot of really nice messages coming through, and everyone's watching online that can't be here. It's magic. It's class.
Well, we're going to let you get a bit of concentration on. We'll move back to the next row. And we have a new rider in the Superbike class this weekend on the Darracor Racing Yamaha. Kevin Keys making his debut. Kevin, how's the weekend going so far?
Yeah, it's been going better than I've expected, to be honest. And to be on the road 2 of a Superbike grid, first time on a Superbike, is more than I expected, but can't complain.
Tell us about the jump from the 600 to the big machine. This is about 220 horsepower.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's far off. I don't know exact figures, but yeah, a big jump. A lot of learning to do. I've been on a 600 quite a while now, so just trying to adjust the riding style and realise that you can't open the throttle as hard and judge a tyre.
Well, we all wish you the very best, and we hope to see you on the podium, and we know it won't be long before you're there.
I'd like to think not, but we'll give it our best shot, Jim. Thanks.
And we'll hand you back to Andy and James back in the tower. Thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to James Halligan for the great interviews. Just before we get going, this is for the race paddock more than the viewers on television. There was an incident this morning in the Super Twin race. Luke Deegan had an incident and he fell off on the exit of Southside Motor Factors. Bike landed down by the pit wall. Now, one of our marshals, Brendan Flynn, placed a lap timer off of Luke Deegan's bike on the pit wall, and hence the lap timer has gone missing. So anybody who knows anything about that lap timer, please, it's quite a valuable piece of kit for the rider involved, and it was placed up on the pit wall, a lap timer off the bike of Luke Deegan from the incident this morning. Please, anyone that knows anything about it, can you pass on the information or the lap timer itself to any of us here in the control tower? Thank you very much indeed. We're just clearing the grid here. Danny Breen, last off. Yeah, everybody's on tender hooks. You know, we've 2 championships in one race here, Andy. We have Thomas O'Grady and Derek Shields battling it out from the front row of the grid. And then, of course, we have Jamie Collins and Daniel Matheson on that 3rd row of the grid in the Superbike Cup class. So we are really waiting with bated breath for the start of this one. It's really all to play for.
Yeah, lots of different permutations about what can happen. But fabulous to see Josh Elliott on the AKR Alex Knowles Racing Fireblade stick it on pole. That's brilliant. But our focus is going to be on a couple of different battles going on here. Derek Shields, of course, Thomas O'Grady vying for that prestigious 2022 Superbike championship, and also then in the Cup class, as we mentioned, number 39 Andrew Weirty, and his battle with 818 Jamie Collins. So it's just as well there's two of us on tools up here, James. One can take.
Yeah, Thomas O'Grady has an 8-point advantage over Derek Shields. 2 Superbike races to come, including this one, and of course Jack Werty has that advantage of Andrew Werty, I beg your pardon, has that 16-point advantage over Jamie Collins in second place, and it's going to, as we say, all to play for here. Now, don't discount the man who's qualified. Here's our grid for us, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Elliott in pole position, Derek Shields in second, Thomas O'Grady third on the front row of the grid. Alan Kenny takes the first position on the second row of the grid. Johnny Campbell, brilliant qualifying from him in 5th place. Kevin Keys on the Darracor Racing R1 Yamaha in 6th. Andrew Werty, Jamie Collins and Emmett O'Grady complete row 3. And row 4, Karen McGahan, Daniel Matheson and Evan O'Grady. Interestingly, Andrew Werty and Jamie Collins side by side on the grid on the 3rd row. And of course, our other champion-elects in the Superbike class proper, Thomas O'Grady and Derek Shields, right next to each other on the front row of the grid. Really is going to be exciting action here, Andy.
Yeah, just I noticed a gap on the grid and was trying to back count to see where that omission was, and I don't think Emmett O'Grady is out for this race. I was looking for that VTL Fireblade, and I'm not sure whether I spot it or whether the transponder isn't pinging back, but I don't see any spaces. I see a space beside Johnny Campbell where I was expecting Emmett O'Grady to be, but no, I don't think he's out for that. Anyway, our focus of attention will be on the battle between Derek Shields, Thomas O'Grady, and then the Cup duel between Jamie Collins and Andrew Weirty. So two huge title shots.
Okay, we're waiting for the grid starter to make sure everything is ready. The green flag is at the back. We wait for the lights to come on and then they'll very quickly go out. The lights are out and they're away. A flying start from Derek Shields. Pause the air on the Rodos Macau BMW. Thomas O'Grady has been left in his wake. Second row up the inside of him, but it's Derek Shields leads it from Josh Elliott, and Thomas O'Grady is back in 4th position at the moment, Andy.
Alan Kenny mugged him there into turn 2 as they head out towards bridge. Try to head out towards turn 3 for the first time, and it is Derek Shields who does still lead from Josh Elliott, number 84. Alan Kenny in a strong 3rd position, and a lot of work to do for number 241 Thomas O'Grady.
Yeah, and Derek Shields has got exactly what he wanted. He's got the whole shot. Kevin Keys running there in 5th position on the Darracor Racing R1 Yamaha. Josh Elliott is going to stick his nose here in underneath Derek Shields and have a look at him. But let's get a look at the rest further down the field if we can when we get them sorted at the end of lap 1. But already down Daly's Drift into 7A and 7B for the first time of 8 laps in this one, ladies and gentlemen. 8-lap race, and you have all the pictures in front of you there in the big screen across in the grandstand, and that new stand that's been there at Campion's Turn 2. Wonderful action for you to enjoy here this afternoon in the finale of the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. Derek Shields leads it through Bahrain's bends. Around to Vannies he comes, gets a little bit of a slide on, but keeps it all nice and grounded. Wow, he is clearing off, and Josh Elliott is going with him, Andy.
Yeah, I was just doing some homework there while you were watching that, and it's going to be a 13-point differential for Thomas O'Grady and Derek Shields. So that result at the moment, Live Championship, will put Derek Shields ahead of the championship by 5 points. So a lot to play for yet still.
A lot to play for, and a long way to go as well, Andy. We won't preempt anything here yet. Derek Shields sideways into Max's turn 1, and Josh Elliott is all over the back of him on that Honda. Brilliant stuff from Josh Elliott, and they are just clearing off. Josh Elliott is having a go up the outside, rides around the outside of Derek Shields into turn 3. Sensational stuff, and he runs it wide. Derek Shields nips back up the inside. This is cracking Superbike racing.
Yeah, it's almost like a super sport battle. It's that tight. So just watching as they come into turn 4, Bridgestone again, it's nicely done by Derek Shields, still in the lead from Josh Elliott. Alan Kenny still in 3rd position, and Thomas O'Grady's in a spot of bother as Kevin Keys is really riding shotgun there and is in a position to make a move on any of these corners as they head out towards Lola for the second lap of this 8-lap race, 7 8-lap racing. Again, it is Derek Shields into 7A and 7B. Nicely done, but there's nothing between himself and Josh Elliott. Very little between them. Lap times quite similar, although the fastest lap of the race was lap 1, and Derek Shields with a 1:43. Yeah, again, it's still don't see why Emma Grady didn't start. We don't have any more information.
No, we don't have any information on that, Andy, and sometimes it just does happen like that. As Derek Shields, we'll have to concentrate on this. Just watching further down the field, Jamie Collins has the advantage over Andrew Worthy in that cup class. There's Kevin Keyes up the inside of Alan Kenny. No, it was in fact Alan Kenny, yeah. So Kevin Keyes up the inside. And Thomas O'Grady has regrouped. He's back up to 3rd place. So it's all about damage limitation. Now, interestingly, and Derek Shields has now been relegated back to 2nd place. Little chat with Derek Shields at lunchtime, and said to me, he cannot get over how serious amount of grip these R1 Yamahas managed to put down. And transversely on his BMW, he doesn't seem to be able to get the power down as much. Made a few changes from yesterday and see how that goes, but he just actually said it's quite overwhelming how good the Yamahas can get the power down. It's interesting, Andy, getting all these little bits of information from the riders, and it does give you an insight as to what's going on and what they're thinking, you know.
Yeah, definitely, and the championship is wide open now again, with that pass that Josh Elliott put on Derek Shields. So that would put Derek Shields on 20 points, and Thomas O'Grady with 16 means that will be a plus of 4 for Derek Shields. So that will mean that the gap in the title has come down to 4 points with 6 laps to go in this 8-lap race. Then again, as we mentioned in the cup battle, Jamie Collins, number 818, is running 7th on the road, but most importantly, he's ahead of number 39, Andrew Weirty, who leads the championship by 16 points. So that will take 5 points out of that and leave a championship gap of 11 if it all goes to this. Looking at Derek Shields up the inside of Southside Motor Factors, but he's obviously going to run wide. But will it be enough to let Josh Elliott back in? It is, and the 2015 British Superstock champion takes full advantage of that.
Super late on the brakes, Derek Shields backed it in, but just ran out of road. And there's Thomas O'Grady there in 3rd place. Just a little note from the sponsor, Pete McMahon, and just saying they've done everything they can for Tommy at this stage. The EICL Clear Energy R1 bike is handling the electronics packages right. Everything is there for them. The data analysis is working well, and his son Sean is on board helping him with that. So brilliant stuff from the EICL Clear Energy R1 racing team of Thomas O'Grady. But he finds himself just flailing back there slightly in 3rd place. Derek Shields has a lot to do here to try and dispatch Josh Elliott, but if anyone's going to have a go at this, it certainly will be Derek Shields. He knows what's at stake here, and you know it's all to play for.
Yeah, every point counts at this point, with only 1 race left after this, and it's the fastest lap for Josh Elliott, so he's hammering home his advantage ahead of the Dubliner Derek Shields on the Macau Roadhouse BMW S1000RR. He's only 2/10 of a second in it at the moment, but Thomas O'Grady is not making any inroads. There's a gap of a second between him, but he's being closely followed by Kevin Keyes on the Darragh Yamaha R1.
Josh Elliott seems to be just gapping Derek Shields a little bit here now, and as they get around to Vannies, and this time around they'll be just coming up to half race distance. 4 laps of 8 shall be completed at the end of this one as they get through Paddock Bend. Watch Derek Shields again, having a little look on the brakes, just having a look, letting Josh Elliott know he's there. Thomas O'Grady, I don't know, I think he's happy enough to sit where he is. You know, there's a big gap out to the leaders from where he is, and just happy enough. Another fastest lap for Josh Elliott, and it's a 1:40.058. Josh Elliott on that lap 4. And
that's a new lap record. I think he's beaten Alistair Seeley. No, he's just gone under it. So it's a new lap record for Josh Elliott.
Wow, that's incredible, because that lap record, ladies and gentlemen, has stood since 2008. So it's a new lap record for Josh Elliott, but Derek Shields is back in front at turn 3. What about this, ladies and gentlemen? Who's to say Shields won't do the lap record here this time? This is sensational racing here at Mondello Park for the finale of the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. Shields giving it everything on the approach to Lola, the long right-hander of Lola, and Dowd onto Daly's Drift, where they stretch the wires of these big superbikes. BMW Power versus Honda. Down Daly's Drift they come. Shields hard on the brakes into 7A and 7B. Sensational stuff, and they are just pulling away from Thomas O'Grady there in third place. He can't really do a whole lot about it. These guys are on superb lap record pace. Unbelievable stuff indeed.
Yeah, incredible stuff is right as we watch them come back into Brands Benz, and it's Derek Shields. It has a small bit of a gap, but that's going to let Josh Elliott get back into it maybe on the brakes as they come round and join us for Paddock Bend on the run into Southside Motor Factors. We could see a late braking manoeuvre from Josh Elliott.
Incredible indeed. Really brilliant stuff. I think both riders under the lap record last time around. Let's watch it this time, because there could be another one go this time. Derek Shields, can he go sub 140? I wonder, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see it. Derek Shields, no, the lap record still stands. There's Kevin Keys across the line, and in behind him, the hard-charging Cavan man, Alan Kenny. Brilliant stuff indeed. Thomas O'Grady has a somewhat lonely race there in third place. The battle for the Superbike Cup just crosses the line very shortly. Now, we'll watch that as well. We can't keep an eye on everything. The camera's constant. Here we go, picking up the Superbike Cup
yeah, it's Jamie Collins
battle,
has the
and it is
advantage.
Jamie Collins in the lead from Andrew Worthy. Sensational stuff indeed. Back with the leaders though, Andy, and Derek Shields still has that maybe 2-bike advantage through Bridgestone turn 4, with coming up to 6 laps completed this time around with just 2 laps to go. Anybody's guess, but I think Shields will be really determined to get as many points in the bag here as he can to reduce that gap to Thomas O'Grady.
Yeah, absolutely nothing in it at this minute as they drop down out from Daly's Drift and into 7A and 7B. It is still Derek Shields, who was actually under the lap record and would have taken it, except Josh Elliott took it on the lap prior to that. So they're coming out on the rise back up into Brands Benz again. Still Derek Shields leads Josh Elliott from Thomas O'Grady. Kevin Keys in 4th, Alan Kenny in 5th, Johnny Campbell 6th. Then in the Cup battle, Jamie Collins leads Andrew Weirty, and in 9th, Karen McGahan leads Daniel Matheson in 10th position.
Yeah, just 3/10 in the gap in that Cup class battle. But here's our race leader again, Derek Shields. And if it stays like this, ladies and gentlemen...
Oh, a bit of a shimmy. I'm sorry,
yeah,
he couldn't
he's okay. He has it under control. Derek Shields, if anyone can control a bike, it's Derek Shields. He does all different sorts with bikes. Brilliant stuff indeed. And still the no change in the lap times, with Josh Elliott having a look around the outside of Max's turn 1. But if it stays as it is, Andy, with just less than 2 laps to go, Derek Shields will go into the championship lead by 1 point going into the final race of the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. That deficit, 8 points, will be cut by the 9-point margin that Derek will pick up with a win here, 25 points. And O'Grady's can't really do anything. He's too far back to make any inroads with 2 laps left to go. Yeah,
Josh Elliott is really, he's trying everything here to match Derek Shields. And I know Derek Shields certainly will be feeling the heat here. He'll be loving this once again. Here's Elliott up the inside into Lola. Can he make it? No. Right across the bows comes Derek Shields. Perfectly fair. And wow, brilliant stuff from Shields again. Out of Lola onto Daly's Drift for the penultimate time. Last lap flag will be getting ready for them as they peel into 7A and 7B. Josh Elliott hard on the brakes, but really can't seem to do much about it. I think the next real passing opportunity will be into Southside Motor Factors, unless he wants to try something into Brands Benz. Not really a passing opportunity.
He's looking, he's having a go everywhere, really, just trying to make force Derek into a mistake maybe, or outbrake himself. But yeah, I think you're right. We'll have to keep an eye on, as they come into Paddock Benz, what way he lines them up for a shot on the inside of Southside Motor Factors, which will be happening any moment now.
Yeah, it's all about the drive out of Paddock Bend, and Shields gets a fabulous drive. Hard on the brakes. Elliott is trying, but Derek Shields forces him wide. If he's going to go anywhere, you're going to have to go the long way. Last lap flag is prepared here for Derek Shields. Sensational last lap ahead, ladies and gentlemen. There's Thomas O'Grady across the line in 3rd place. Elliott's trying again, but Shields is having none of it. Brilliant action here in the Superbike race this afternoon.
Yeah, you can't fault the international track for bringing the excitement that we're used to watching these boys. We were wondering where Thomas O'Grady was a little bit off the pace, but he's still putting in hot sector time.
Yeah,
it just means that Derek Shields and Josh Elliott are absolutely riding the wheels off these superbikes.
Yeah. And Thomas O'Grady just 1.5 seconds in arrears. You know, he's dropped, cut it back down from 1.8 to 1.5. So if anything goes wrong here, he's there to pick up the pieces, keeping an eye still on the Cup class battle. Jamie Collins has that 0.3 of a second lead over Andrew Worthy. Josh Elliott having a look again, but I think Derek Shields couple of corners left in this one. Around Lola they come onto Daly's Drift for the last time. Sensational stuff. Can Shields hold on for the victory that he so dearly needs?
Definitely. Well, and I think what we mentioned before about the break and manoeuvre into Southside Motor Factories is the only angle, because Derek is riding absolutely flawlessly here, despite the pressure that he's been put on under from Josh Elliott.
And Elliott matching him wheel for wheel, and Thomas O'Grady not a million miles behind either. They're through Bahrain's bends, around the valleys they come, that long left-hander that tightens up ever so slightly, then the short drive down to Paddock Bend and up to Southside Motor Factories for the last time. Around Paddock Bend they come as Shields has the advantage. Josh Elliott is going to have to give it everything here, but Shields will have this covered. He certainly does have it covered. Oh, and Elliott's so
another
late.
little shimmy, but covered his line beautifully and will get the best drive out down the straight. But what a battle with Derek Shields as he goes to take the checkered flag, and that's going to reduce the deficit and bring the margin of 1 point lead for Derek Shields in the Superbike Championship.
Derek Shields in the Superbike Championship. Thomas O'Grady finishes third. Alan Kenny and Kevin Keys across the line in a very creditable 5th place. Next rider on track should be Johnny Campbell, and we're watching out for that Superbike Cup class battle, which is coming around Paddock Bend now. And there's Kevin Keys on the Darracor Racing R1. Jamie Collins and Andrew Worthy, 18 points the difference here. Worthy wants to win, tries to ride around the outside. Collins holds him back. He certainly holds him back, and Jamie Collins holds on. It's going to go down to the wire to the last round later on this afternoon, but Jamie Collins takes the 25 points, reduces the gap down to I think 14.
I think it's just been 11 now. There's 16 points.
16, and that's 5 off, so 11 points the gap. So wow, what a race, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a treat. My apologies to the riders further down the field, but there was too much going on at the head of things there. Well done, Kevin Keys, back into the paddock. Brilliant ride from him. Alan Kenny, good old run out, but Jamie Collins is back with a bang. Andrew Worthy in behind him. Just sensational Superbike action here at Mondello Park for the final few rounds and the final few hours of the Masters Superbike Championship for 2022. Johnny Campbell, well done, young man. Good run from him. And handshakes all around. Jamie Collins gets the greetings from his pit crew, Danny Breen and all the gang down there. I can see Ron Keys is in there as well. So everybody's down there getting a little piece of the action. Well done to young Kevin. Brilliant debut on the Superbike class for him. Second race out in the R1. But for the moment, I think Fergus Brennan is down there with the Dunlop caps. Are we going to get a recap on the finish there, Andy? Yes, we have.
Just a confirmation of the win of Derek Shields, half a second ahead of Josh Elliott. Thomas O'Grady confirmed as third. Alan Kenny fourth. Kevin Keys fifth. Johnny Campbell sixth. First of the Cup riders then was Jamie Collins, just ahead of Andrew Weirty. Daniel Matheson got the better of Dean O'Grady for ninth, putting Dean O'Grady in 10th place. So that confirms our top 10 for that hugely breathtaking Superbike and Cup race. And you're definitely right there. We were handed a real battle, and it's going down to the wire in both Cup and Pro. So we're going to look at some sensational finishes. And with that, we'll hand you over to the presentations from Fergus.
John from Maxis, one of our sponsors here, and also sponsors some of the bikes. We're going to have a quick word with him before we give out the prizes. John, it's great to have you here. Thanks for your support this year.
It's great. It's a great honour and great privilege to be part of this wonderful facility. And I mean, that's exciting racing. I don't care what you do. That's fantastic stuff.
We're going to get you to present the trophies. We just want to thank you for our lovely new Maxis Delivery 9 van. For anybody who doesn't know, that's what Maxis do.
Well, we do lots of things, but that's one of our products. We've several more, all affordable.
Good man, get the plug in. John, right, well, I'm going to ask the guys up, and when each one comes up, if you could just hand them the trophy, that'd be great. So we're going to call up the Cup first, and in third place in the Cup is Daniel Matheson. Second place, Andrew Weirty. And our Cup winner, Jamie Collins.
Congratulations, well done, buddy. Well done, lad. Thank you.
Thanks, John. John's going to hang on and do the main race for us as well as the Cup. But Daniel, another third place. You happy with that?
Yeah, happy to hold in that time. First few laps there was a bit of a ding-dong going on, so just glad we're up on two wheels here at the end. But no, happy with that there, so see what the next one brings.
Okay, still one to go, obviously. Andrew Werty still leading the championship. That was some effort on the last lap, trying to go around the outside. It's outside. I don't think I've ever seen that pulled off successfully.
I just said maybe I'd try. I just felt a bit more pace going into the corner, and I wanted to try play it safe throughout the whole thing, just to keep me championship lead, and might go in the last one, see how we go.
Well, you don't want to ruin that championship. I know you finished behind Jamie, but you're still ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm still ahead, so happy with that. And just want to thank everyone that gave me a hand to get there so far, and look forward to the last one.
Well, thanks very much, Jamie. Hop down there. Jamie, another strong win. The championship is in other people's hands, really. Now all you can do is try and win and hope that things go your way other than that.
It's not over yet, Fergus. We still have one more to go.
That's what I'm saying, but all you can do is go out and win, and you have to then hope that Andrew doesn't finish behind you.
Yeah, look, but to be fair to Andrew, playing a blinder all year, great racing back and forth. And to be honest, I couldn't ask to any better to be on the podium here with the three lads. It's great racing all year. Fair play.
Fantastic performance. Well done to our top three in the Cup. Daniel Matheson, Andrew Werty and Jamie Collins. They'll go into the final race now, Andrew and Jamie, to battle over that Superbike Cup Championship, which is a much sought after award. But we're going to move on now to the main race. And in third place in our main race is Thomas O'Grady. Thomas was leading the championship. We just get our trophies up there. John, if you want to present that, Tommy's already, but go and shake his hand anyway. Well done. Second place, Josh Elliott. And our winner after fantastic battle, Derek Shields. So John, just one last to give out there, and then we'll have a word with the lads. All right, thanks very much, John. That's you finishing. Hang on there if you want, if you wish to. Tommy, third place, and we've never had a closer championship in the history of the Masters. You're going into the last race now, 1 point behind.
The racing's absolutely savage. The pace is phenomenal as well. I'm not sure what the times were in that one.
I'll be telling you in a minute.
But it's amazing, and like to be riding with this caliber of riders as well is a real achievement for us and the team. So I just want to thank everyone that's with us.
Well, you've really, really put on a great show this year, whatever else happens at the rest of this day. Taking your first wins and some phenomenal performances, I think particularly yesterday coming back from behind to beat Derek.
Yeah, no, the racing was amazing. Derek came straight up to me after the race, and it's proper sportsmanship. You know, maybe really, I'm delighted for the lads and me. You know, really happy with how things going. Just keep pushing on.
Well done. And now I'm going to talk to this man who is our new Superbike lap record holder. He's taken a lap record that has stood since 2008, and we knew at the start of the year that we would get a new lap record. Derek also was under the old lap record, but he's just been pipped, and it just shows you the quality of what we have here this year in the Superbike Championship. Phenomenal performance for a man who's on his second event on the Superbike here.
Yeah, surprised. I don't have a lap timer on my bike, so I don't.
You're probably better off.
Probably better off not having one, but no, the bike's getting better. We're sort of improving every time we're going out. It's still not perfect, yeah, it's still sort of a long way off where I'd want it, and I'm sort of just managing as best I can at the minute. But we're still like having great races with Derek there, and just going back and forth, and having good fun. A lot of slides, a lot of spins. Almost tucked in the front, just good fun. And yeah, it was just try and make a change for the next race and see if we can come out and go one step better.
Okay, well done, Josh. Derek, hop down there. Another race win to add to your tally, but probably more important, 1 point lead in the championship.
Yeah, it's amazing after all these rounds that myself and Thomas are 1 point away from each other. So yeah, no, it'll make for a good last race, and Tommy's riding well, everyone's riding well, Josh riding well. So
you're not doing too bad yourself.
Yeah, well, to be up to the lap record at 40 years of age, I'm not too bad, like, you know. But,
Not at all. It's phenomenal pace.
but no, I'm enjoying it there, you know. So it's a good thing down. Myself, Josh had a few hairy manoeuvres, but I got to the flag just in front, thank God.
Okay, well done. We're going to see these guys once more today, so we could see this lap record coming down even more. Thanks very much to our top three in the Superbike, but first of our 2 Superbike races today. Thomas O'Grady third, Josh Elliott second, and our new championship leader, Derek Shields first. And thanks also to John from Max's for coming up and giving out the trophies. We'll hand back over to James and to Andy for our next race.
The Junior Supersport and Moto 1 Championship is brought to you by DM Groundworks and FJS.
So myself and James in the tower, thanks for that, Fergus. We're just catching our breath again after that enthralling Superbike Pro and Cup round. And we'll bring you through the grids of the Declan Madden Groundworks and Frank J. Smith plant grid of Josh O'Brien on pole. Jack Weirty is in second place. Nicky Burns completes the front row in third place. Fourth position on the grid will go to Tom Pearce. Mark Carey, number 27. And Brian O'Malley is in sixth position, completing the second row. Adam Brown is back down to seventh position, just alongside Georgina Wilkinson on the Jim Halligan Racing R3. Ruben Sherman Boyd, the first of the Moto 1 riders, is in ninth position. Martin Burnett is in 10th. Rossi Dobson, we don't think will join this race. We think he's injured from the previous round. And then Darrell O'Donovan will be in 12th position. And of course, Rossi Dobson has secured that championship, so the results of this race don't really change the outcome of the championship race, the championship outcome. So watching our riders come round, turn 4, Bridgestone corner, one warm-up lap, and then 5 laps of racing. Josh O'Brien gave a great account of himself in the last 2 races, so it'll be quite interesting to see how he can put it up to Jack Weirty, Nicky Burns in this one, starting on the same row. So the bulk of the riders coming around Southside Motor Factors for the last time to wrap up their championship and their last race of the day as they come down to take their positions on the dummy grid. 5 laps to be completed of the international circuit. Big ask for a lot of these riders that haven't had much experience of the international circuit, but they certainly making the most out of it today. Keep an eye on Josh O'Brien, number 22, on that blue R3, alongside Jack Weirty, number 67, and Nicky Burns completing the front row in third. And all the grid positions seem to be correct. We're under starters' orders. So the start is going to be critical here. Josh O'Brien has definitely the right position to get away cleanly, and he does. He makes a blinding good start. Brian O'Malley also does that from the second row and may get in to third or fourth place as they come into Max's turn 1. But Josh O'Brien did make the best of the starts, and he leads Jack Weirty from turn 2, number 67, Jack Weirty, turn 2 as they head out to turn 3. Nicky Burns, we still think has been passed by Adam Brown, came from 7th, is that up to 6th? Or up to 3rd even? We'll take a look as they come back round into turn 4, Bridgestone corner. The lead still from Josh O'Brien. Jack Weirty followed closely in second place, and third place trying to make these numbers out
I
now.
think it's Nicky Burns there, is it? Just get it now as we get around Lola. We normally get a better view of them coming out of Lola onto Daly's Drift, and let's see if we can pick them up here. Certainly 22 from 27, and that is the, was that the number?
Is that number 3, Adam Brown?
I didn't see it on the grid, to be honest. Yeah, I think it is, in fact, Adam Brown. He's up the inside anyway, regardless of Jack Worthy. And no, it's 21 of Nicky Burns.
It is Nicky Burns, indeed.
It is indeed Nicky Burns, because yeah, Adam Brown had that off yesterday. I don't think he's back out again today. And the Junior Supersport Champion 2022, Rossi Dobson, unfortunately finds himself injured in hospital, but had a little piece up on his Facebook page, and we wished him all the best at lunchtime. I hope he's not none the worse for wear from that little tip-off in turn 1 yesterday evening, through no fault of his own, it must be said, but was taken out in no uncertain terms, unfortunately. But our leader, Nicky Burns, takes over from Josh O'Brien at the head of things into Southside Motor Factors and out onto the main straight. It is Adam Brown, number 3. It certainly is Adam Brown. So I'm not sure. Nicky Burns further down the field there. Yeah, so that is Adam Brown. I do beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen. Hard to pick out the numbers on these machines, and we have them started now at the end of lap 1. So Adam Brown leads it by 0.3 of a second over Josh O'Brien, Jack Worthy in 3rd, Martin Burnett 4th, Tom Pearce 5th, and Mark Carey is running in 6th place. Ruben Sherman Boyd, as ever, leads the Moto 1 class there in 7th place. Georgina Wilkinson is the Junior Supersport sandwich in the 2 Moto 1 machines between her, Jeff Quilter and Ruben Sherman Boyd. She's running there in 8th position. Had a little chat with Georgina as well at lunchtime. She's absolutely buzzing after a brilliant season.
Yeah, so she should be. Just a couple of notes. We lost Nicky Burns somewhere on that lap. Maybe it's in turn 1 or turn 2, but he's definitely gone. And we did notice Brian O'Malley had made a great start, but unfortunately it was a jump start, so he's been given a 20-second jump start penalty. So Adam Brown leads this race and the fastest lap of the race so far, closely followed by Josh O'Brien, then a little further back to Jack Queerty. Martin Burnett, Tom Pearce and Mark Carey can complete the top 6, as Ruben Sherman Boyd leads the Moto 1 charge. Then just behind Ruben Sherman Boyd is Georgina Wilkinson, indeed, on that Jim Halligan Racing R3. And completing the top 10 is Jeff Quilter, number 5, on the RS125 2-stroke Aprilia, followed by Darrell O'Donovan, number 69.
So the leaders back into Southside Motor Factors and down onto the main straight to complete their 2nd lap of 5, and it is Adam Brown and the Kawasaki 300 ahead of Josh O'Brien and Jack Worthy. Those 3 riders, really long gap back to Martin Burnett there in 4th place. 4.6 seconds is the gap back to 4th place, and then Tom Pearce in 5th. But as the leaders get around Campion's Corner, once again onto lap 3 they go. Lap 3 of 5 for the Junior Supersport machines. Adam Brown getting it all nicely tucked in and head up from behind the bubble on the brakes into turn 3. He comes and exits just right as efficiently as he entered, down into Bridgestone turn 4 on the brakes. Josh O'Brien isn't giving up on this, but Adam Brown just seems to have somewhat tidier lines there, Andy. I think he's just a little bit more tidy on his racing lines than Josh O'Brien at the moment.
Yeah, Josh O'Brien ran a little wide on the entry to turn 4. That pushed him a little off line, which didn't give him a great drive out as they headed out towards Lola Bends for the 3rd time. That might play in the hands of Jack Weirdy a little bit, but there is a significant gap of half a second to 1 second at the moment between 2nd and 3rd. So Adam Brown, ride him quite well in the lead at the moment, just as they come around 7A and 7B turns, and then the drive up the hill towards Moran's Bends, the right-hander and left-hander. Tipping in then to Devaney's. We should see them any moment now, back into Paddock Bend. And fastest lap still of the race for Adam Brown, number 3. And again, still no sign of where we lost Nicky Burns, but hasn't made it round anyway. As the leading pack of 3 riders come into Southside Motor Factors for the 3rd time, it is still Adam Brown who leads from number 22 Josh O'Brien from 67, Jack Weirty.
Yeah, next through will be Martin Burnett, number 772. There he is across the line now, and followed by, in close company there, by Tom Pearce, just 1.7 seconds back. Next through should be, and passing your screen now, Mark Carey, followed by the Moto 1 leader. In fact, Brian O'Malley, Ruben Sherman Boyd, yes, he's through there in 7th place. Then Brian O'Malley should be next. So there is a jump start penalty there for
Brian O'Malley,
yeah,
number 8.
That's what's rejigging
green.
my screen on me, Andy. Yeah, certainly is. So that rejigs it, put Ruben Sherman Boyd back in 7th place. Georgina Wilkinson still holds that 8th place. Jeff Quilter 9th, and Brian O'Malley in 10th.
Yeah, riders just disappearing from view there as they head into Daly's Drift. And Adam Brown has a look over his shoulder, not really to worry about, because he has built up a nice gap of over a second at this point from the number 2 rider. Rider in second place, Josh O'Brien, number 22. And then Jack Weirty seems to have dropped off a little bit as well. So the fastest lap of the race still for Adam Brown at the moment with a 1:54. Still some hot sector times as well. 1:54 is also from Josh O'Brien. Jack Weirty back doing 1:55, so that's going to play into the lead of Adam Brown and Josh O'Brien with 2 laps remaining once they come around once more.
Yeah, so they're the leaders back up into Southside Motor Factors to complete lap 4, and the last lap flag is being prepared on the podium below me here. And yeah, here he is, Adam Brown right on cue, all tucked in nice and tidily down the main street they go. Straight they go. Josh O'Brien across the line, 1.7 seconds in arrears. He has a 1 second advantage over Jack Weirty there in 3rd place. And there you see our front 3 getting around Max's turn 1 and left-hander into Campion's corner. Adam has a little look over his left shoulder there on the exit of turn 2 just to see what's going on behind him, as we see Martin Burnett and Tom Pearce get around turn 1. And all the rest of the field streaming through. That looks like possibly there Brian or Mark Carey there running through turn 1, Max's turn 1, but back with the leader on Bridgestone turn 4, and it is Adam Brown with a really nice smooth ride, and he is extending his lead now. It was 1.7 at the end of that lap. Here we are halfway around the final lap, and he certainly is increasing that lead as we speak, and Josh O'Brien has no answer. But yeah, so Adam Brown will finish. Let me see. He is still going to finish. It's not going to improve his championship standings. He finishes there in 3rd place in the Dunlop Masters Junior Supersport Championship. Jack Weirty will finish 2nd. Rossi Dobson from his hospital bed is the champion, and our best wishes on a quick recovery to Rossi Dobson.
Yeah, he rode a brilliant championship, had it wrapped up already, so it didn't need to have to be too concerned about the results that happened on today.
Just picking up on Aoife Griffin there just through your shot. Aoife, last year's Moto 1 champion, will finish 2nd in the Moto 1 championship this year to a hard-charging Ruben Sherman Boyd, who's won virtually every round he's been out in. He has won every round, in fact, apart from the last time. I think he had a little bit of a blip, but there is Aoife again into our shot. The checkered flag is prepared here now for Adam Brown. Sits up, has a look, says, come on lads, is that all you have? He's delighted with himself. Adam Brown takes the win. Josh O'Brien takes 2nd place. Jack Weirty 3rd. That's it, concludes the Junior Super Sports for 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Brown is absolutely delighted. Give him a round of applause there, ladies and gentlemen, in the stands. They do appreciate it. They really do appreciate it, and they're aware that you're there and watching. There's Aoife Griffin around turn 1 as well to complete her race. Well done, Aoife. Brilliant stuff indeed. Yeah, it's been very entertaining, and everybody's enjoying this little slowdown last quarter of a lap that they do around turn 1 and down the pit lane. So yeah, looking forward to another podium presentation. There's Aoife Griffin in your shot. Well done, Aoife. Another solid championship for her, having been the first ever female championship winner in the Dunlop Masters history last year, Moto 1 champion. This year she finishes runner-up to Ruben Sherman Boyd, but a brilliant year once again. And I see Jeff Quilter making his way over there to pick up on Jeff, and there's Glenn, I should say. Glenn, nice to see you. Just see you in my shot there, and he's waiting for Jeff to come back in. So good to see you, Glenn, and I hope all's well down in Killady. Yeah, we might just get the results popped up in front of us here before we hand over to the podium presentations. But an entertaining series, and it's always nice to see these young men and women, young women and young men, giving it everything here, Andy, for the whole year. It's been really, really good.
Certainly is, and these support classes, they're so important for riders that are making their way through the academies to jump onto the bigger bikes. And like you said, it is really good, healthy to see 16, 17 bikes on the grid in this feeder class.
And there's the view that I just love. You see, you know, Adam Brown off the bike and getting the big hugs from mum and dad, and that just seals it for me. It makes it all so worthwhile, and these parents so proud, and the young men so appreciative of their parents' efforts in, you know, putting everything together for them and their support. I see Fergus Brennan is down there. It looks like Michael Sweeney has joined him on the podium. Miko is going to go down there maybe to do a bit of presenting of a few prizes and a bit of blackguarding as well, if it's anything to do with Michael Sweeney. There's no two ways about that. So I think we'll be handing over to Fergus very, very shortly. And Fergus is instructing Michael. Yeah, we are going to be live on TV, Michael, don't forget, and be on your very, very best behaviour.
Especially in front of the kids here, of course. You don't want to be handing off any bad manners at that point, as we see the last of the Moto 1 competitors come back in and prepare themselves for their little presentations as well. So just as important as all the major classes as well. So with that, we'll hand you over to Fergus Brennan. So little delay as we get our podium presentations up. So just to confirm that the championship winner for the Junior Supersport will be Rossi Dobson. Get well soon, Rossi. And the winner of the Moto 1 class is Ruben Sherman Boyd, number 71, on that Tianda 300. So I think we're ready to go now. So we will hand you over to Fergus Brennan.
Thanks, Andy. We're here for the podium for the DM Groundworks and FJS Plant Junior Supersport on Moto 1, and we've got a superstar of the roads here to present the prizes to the up-and-coming young riders, Michael Sweeney. Michael, great to see you here. Pity you're not on a bike.
Yeah, Fergus, we've had a busy year with the road, so we kind of just didn't work out for us this weekend, but we're looking forward to hopefully coming back next year and doing the championship, doing the round next year, so looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for coming up and presenting the trophies. We're going to move ahead with the Moto 1, and in third place is Dean Graham. And in second place is Warren Knowles. And our winner for the, I think it's 18th time this season, 100% record, Ruben Sherman Boyd. Thanks to Michael, giving these up-and-coming stars of the future, he's giving Ruben a hand up there onto the top step. He doesn't know that Ruben's well used to climbing up there. He's been doing it all season. Thanks, Michael. We'll get you back in a second for the other one. Dean, that's not a bad way to finish your season.
No, not at all. It's pretty good. Well, I didn't actually know I got third until I crossed the line. So
you're happy with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks very much, Dean. Warren, second place. You happy with that? Happy with your season?
Yeah, good enough.
These guys are all full of talk when they're not on the microphone, but once you put the microphone, there must be loads of people you need to thank.
Just my dad. He's the one that brought me here and all.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hang on there as we talk to Ruben. Ruben, no matter, you've been here quite a lot up on the top step, but we still can't get a lot of words out of you. You must have something to say now about the way the season has gone.
I'm just really happy in the overall. Just tried my best, and that was it.
Well, your best is pretty good. 100% record is good in any class.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, happy enough.
Okay, well done to our top three in Moto 1. Dean Graham, Warren Knowles and Reuben Sherman Boyd. And we're going to move on. We get the trophies up now. George is going to put the trophies up for the next race, and then we'll get Michael to present them again to the top three from the Junior Supersport Championship. Our championship winner is not here, unfortunately. Rossi Dobson injured himself yesterday, and I'm not sure what way the championship's gone for second and third, but we'll do just the race podium anyway on that. So in third place is Jack Huerty. Jack was definitely in contention for the championship, but maybe he knows how things have ended up. And in second place is a relative newcomer, previously a star of the FIM Mini GP Championship, is Josh O'Brien. Great to see Josh progressing up. Only his second meeting on this bike and he's up on the podium in second place. Great performance. We'll just let Michael get him. And then our winner, Adam Brown. Great performance by Adam. Been a tough class all this year. A lot of very good performances from these young riders, and hopefully we'll see them all moving on into other championships in the future. So we move across now as Michael hands out the last award. Thanks, Michael. Well, Jack, I don't know how the championship is. It's too hard to keep track. With so many championships up for grabs this weekend, it's been hard to keep track of them all. I know you didn't win. Do you know where you finished?
Yeah, I finished second. I'd done all the calculations before I went out. I just missed out on it by Rossi. Rossi had enough points to clinch it in race one yesterday, so a bit disappointed in the end. I started really strong, but it didn't help with the bike and not blowing up. And just happy to finish it all in one piece.
Yeah. And you've also moved on already onto Supersport.
Yeah, I moved into Supersport Cup 2 rounds ago, and I was riding it again today, and I got 5th. And I'm up the grid a bit now for the last race. I think it's on now this afternoon, so looking forward to it.
Okay, well, enjoy that. Josh, great to see you back here. You did some racing before here in Mondello before you went off and did the Mini GP Championship. This time last year, were you heading off for Spain to go and race in the World Finals? But now you're back with us here and putting in some strong performances.
Oh yeah, well it's only my second time on this bike, so to be on a podium, it's fair going. So I'd like to thank my mum, my dad, and especially Jim Halligan, who gave me this bike to race.
Okay, well done. Great performances for somebody with so little experience on the bike. Hop down here, Adam. That's a good win. It didn't do so well yesterday, so it's good to bounce back.
Well, getting the win in race 1 yesterday, just a wee mishap in race 2, and I ended myself race in Rossi's. I hope Rossi's okay, but we got it this time.
Okay, well done. We do have another award to bring on. I'm not sure again. We'll ask Eamon. Same top 3? Well, we're going to swap Josh and Jack over. And Adam, you can hop back up because you have actually won a championship. So hop up there. Hop up there. You have won the Southern Star Championship, which has been run over the last 2 events only of the championship. So you are now the Southern Star champion. So your efforts today haven't been in vain. Well done to our top 3 in the Southern Star Championship. Swap them around: Josh O'Brien, Jack Huerty and Adam Brown. So a little bit of a surprise for you there. That's the Southern Centre of the Motorcycle Union of Ireland giving out those awards over the last 2 events of the championship only. So well done to our top 3. And we still have another one to do, because Eamon, you can hang now, you can go down now. We still have to do the Moto 1 Southern Star. So down you go. So I hope Eamon has the results for the Moto 1 Southern Star now. If Eamon can tell me who I need to call up. No, sorry, no Moto 1 Championship, just in the Junior Supersport. Apologies for building up anybody's hopes there, but we're ready to go with our next race, so I'll hand back over to the lads at the top of the tower.
Thanks for that, Fergus. So we're looking forward to this final Super Twin showdown. Of course, the Production Twin Championship has already been sealed by Nathan McGowan. Now we turn our attention to the battle that Thomas O'Grady has on his hands with RS660 rider
The Super Twin and Production Twin races are brought to you by Principal Insurance for all your motorcycle insurance needs.
Yeah, so turn our attention to the battle that Thomas O'Grady has in his hands with fellow RS660 pilot Dara Crean, number 40. So we'll just get the grids now for this 7-lap race.
Try that again. Here we go. Brian McCormick in that pole position with a new lap record earlier on today. Brilliant stuff from Brian McCormick, telling me there's a bit more left in this. Dara Crean, wow. Dara Crean in second place on the front row, and Thomas O'Grady with that 15-point advantage over Dara Crean in that second place. So we shall see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Second row of the grid, Kevin Baker, Mark Quilligan and Reece Coyne on the Megabikes RS660. That's the second row of the grid. Moving along to the third row, Davin Casey. Davin was the sole Aprilia 660 competitor up until last year when he wasn't eligible for the twins class. He was campaigning one of these for the last 2 seasons and campaigned it in the 600 Supersport class. So Davin Casey there in 7th. In the class he should be in. William Roberts in 8th, Tom Greenwood 9th. Fourth row of the grid, Luke Deegan, Nathan McGoran and of course Brandon Kavanagh complete the fourth row of the grid. So we're looking forward to once again another championship decider, ladies and gentlemen, and one of the main men in that battle is number 40 right on the front row of the grid. He's sitting down there at the moment, and there he is solitary on his own in the middle of the front row. That's Dara Crean, just trying to gather everything together. 15 points the difference between him and the man who has just pulled up alongside him, Thomas O'Grady from Lusk in North County Dublin. There's Tommy on the Noel Williamson sponsored RS660 Aprilia. Nice chatting to you at lunchtime, Noel. We wish you all the best for the rest of the afternoon. It's been a pleasure dealing with you all year, and great to see you again, Noel. It's been great. Good luck to everyone. Good luck, of course, to Dara Crean. Good luck to Thomas and Brian McCormick, the new Super Twin lap record holder here at Mondello Park, just pulls it in there. And yeah, he's hoping for big things again next year. We had a little chat with him, but more of that later on. Second row of the grid, Kevin Baker, Mark Quilligan, and then it's number 58, Reece Coyne. A good qualifying from Reece Coyne. It's a cracking race we're looking forward to here, Andy. And Brian McCormick, I'm sure, will be giving it everything once again there from that pole position.
So I'm not quite sure if we have an issue, but I think they're going to run the bikes around once more.
We shall see. The riders want it, but I'm not sure that the officials want it, and it's not really up to the riders to decide this. They may request another warm-up lap, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the delay is or what the reason for it is, but certainly Phil Lawless in the middle of the grid there. Just there is something going on here, and tyre warmers are being deployed, possibly. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not quite sure.
McCormick requesting another lap from race control, and just being told, yeah, they're going to go for one. They're going to go for one, and that will save us putting tyre warmers back out on the grid. Yeah, Noel Williamson eager to get out to Thomas O'Grady, but going for one more warm-up lap. Not sure what the issue was, Andy, but we should get going after this one.
Yeah, again, Brian McCormick is gingerly off the line when really you kind of think that you should be moving at race pace, because a lot of riders coming up behind you, you know, may not be paying attention. You can have a nasty little off there for no reason, so we'll see what they can do. So did seem to have some issues this morning with that bike, but got it going again and was able to restart and have a cracking race, obviously, when he put down the new lap record for that. So quite interesting to see that. Yeah, we're going to have a 7-lap race then in this Principal Insurance race. See that good few people building up in the paddock there. Mags Finnegan, haven't seen Mags in quite a while. Hey Mags. Yeah, and it's cracking, James, to see that another one of these championships have absolutely come down to the last race of the day. The last race of the championship to see what the decider is. It's a good testament to how tight the battles have been.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's funny, you know, Thomas O'Grady right down to the wire in his last 2 races of his season in his respective championships. 15 points his advantage here in the Super Twin class over Dara Crean, and later on he's 1 point in arrears of Derek Shields in the final Superbike race of the year and the final race of the day here at Mondello Park, the Superbike race. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because it is the final race of the day. The Superbike's coming up later on, but buckle down everything you have here as well, because we are in for some superb action once again in the Principal Insurance Super and Production Twins class. Nathan McGowan, already crowned champion this morning, was shall I say, just having little celebrations around there on the warm-up laps. Nathan, behave yourself, young man. We love it, really.
It's either that or it's the grabbiest clutch I've ever seen.
No, we just love it. We just love it. There is Dara Crean back once again into the middle of that front row of the grid. Very, very keen to get things going. You know, the butterflies must be playing their part in the bellies of some of these riders now. Dara Crean just giving someone there, giving Michael Sweeney, giving them the thumbs up. Thanks for the presentations there, Miko, and good to see you there at lunchtime, pal. He's just on the outside of the track giving a little bit of support to Dara Crean. Thomas O'Grady pulls up the Lusk rider, number 241 on the Noel Williamson sponsored RS660, and then the Tremor man Brian McCormick pulls up to the pole position. There he is, Brian, with the new lap record that Michael Sweeney held up until just this morning, this opening race this morning. They're under starters orders, waiting for the lights to go on. On they go, and out they go just as quick. And a flying start from Dara Crean. Brian McCormick gets away well as well. Thomas O'Grady, is he getting somewhat swallowed up? I don't think he is. He'll slot into third place there. Thomas O'Grady keeping Dara Crean in his sights, and that's all he really needs to do, Andy.
Yeah, if he can finish one position behind Dara Crean, no matter where Dara ends up, that's all Thomas needs to do. He doesn't need to get involved in any battles. He doesn't need to get involved in any risk taking. He just needs to keep his head down, keep Dara in relatively close distance, and let the championship look after itself.
Yeah, I think certainly Tommy is racing here with his head screwed on, and he did that this morning. But Dara Crean has the early lead from Brian McCormick and Thomas O'Grady there in third place. Kevin Baker, the Clare rider, is in fourth, and I'd say in behind Kevin is possibly Mark Quilligan there in fifth place, as we see a big gaggle of riders around the Bridgestone turn 4 as the leaders are already out onto Daly's Drift, and there is our race leader Dara Crean. And you know what, you can't ask any more than this. Dara Crean giving it everything here and just going for it from the start. You've got to go for it, as they say, let it all hang out and just see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get past Brian McCormick and do anything, because Brian is just going to swallow you up. Again, you can see he's got the pace on that Aprilia 660, similar spec machine, you would think, to Dara Crean, with maybe a few extra performance enhancing parts on it. But yeah, like you said, Dara he's got his head down. He's just going to try and do his best. He can't have any control of what happens behind him. But at the moment, he's in the lead, and that's just not good enough with Thomas O'Grady in third.
Yeah, well, that's it, and that's all you can do. As Kevin Baker's having a look up the inside of Thomas O'Grady, and does make it stick. In fact, back there, just out of your view, Kevin Baker letting it all hang out behind. But there he is. Dara Crean has that race lead of just 0.3 of a second over Brian McCormick at the end of the first lap. Kevin Baker in third, Thomas O'Grady fourth, Mark Quilligan fifth, Nathan McGowan sixth, Rhys Coyne, Davin Casey, William Roberts and Tom Greenwood complete the top 10. So cracking opening lap there for Dara Crean.
Yeah, certainly he's done all that's been expected of him. That fourth place is still going to be enough for Thomas O'Grady to seal the title, but he shouldn't fall back any further than that. Mark Quilligan will maybe smell blood and have a pop as well. But
yeah, but also we have the rather not so slight issue of the big man from Tremor, the coal merchant Brian McCormick. He's right in the wheel tracks of Dara Crean too, and you know what, he's not going to let him just have a championship. I'm going to take this win, it's there for the taking, I'll take it, and he's going to keep Dara honest here, and this could be more lap record stuff, Andy.
Yeah, there's no reason why it shouldn't be. The track temperature is grand, plenty of adhesion out there. Fresh tyres, you would assume, for the last race as well, that the guys are going to give it all. But Brian is hanging around Dara all right, and as they drop into Baran's bends, the left-hander into the right-hander, that will take them down the hill as they drop into Devaney's. We'll check their lap times the next time they come around to see what the margins are. Yeah,
it looks as though Thomas O'Grady is back up into third place. In fact, because I can see Kevin Baker certainly has made a mistake somewhere along the way. Is McCormick going to have a look up the inside this time? I think he will. He's a racer, and up he goes the inside of Dara Crean. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does, ladies and gentlemen. McCormick gets the drive out of Southside Motor Factors and takes the lead. The Tremor man back at the head of things. Another quick lap from him, 1:47.1 from Brian McCormick, 1:47.7 for Derek Green. Thomas O'Grady across the line there in third place. Kevin Baker made a big mistake along the way there somewhere, relegated back to fourth place. Then Mark Quilligan, Rhys Coyne, Davin Casey, Nathan McGowan, appropriately enough, leads the production twin class there in 8th position, Nathan McGowan. But it's Brian McCormack, and he's any chance that really outside chance that Derek Green had, I think Brian McCormack is going to put paid to that right here and right now.
Yeah, it looks like Brian has extended that lead as well to 2 or 3 bike lengths as they head out towards Lola Corner, and then they'll be into Daly's Drift. Yeah, he's extended that to 6 or 7 bike lengths now. That's playing into the hands of Thomas O'Grady, of course, who's going to pick up, as he is, 16 points. So the margin at the moment will be greater than 15, so he will have to just stay where he is. And pit boards, I'm sure, are going to come into play, so that while O'Grady cannot see exactly who's ahead of him and what the gap is, that he'll get a good bit of information to let him know that all is well.
Yeah, interesting. You know, I had a little chat with Brian at lunchtime, Brian McCormack, and I was, you know, just congratulating him on his pace on the Aprilia. And he said to me, he said, there's more to come here. He says, because he said there's more in the tank, and he's very, very happy. Disappointed this weekend not get the Superbike running, but I mean, that happens sometime, waiting on a computer program to come from Germany for it, but it didn't arrive, so just couldn't get going to get that fly-by-wire throttle working properly again. Kevin Baker is back in contact with Thomas O'Grady and has taken back that third place up out of Southside Motor Factor. So Kevin Baker, the rider from West Clare, way down Listoon Varna direction. I think Kevin Baker is in fact sliding into turn 1 and enjoying himself here for the final round of the Masters Championship. Brian McCormack once again 1:46.1 on lap 3, and another lap record for Brian McCormack, 1:46.1 seconds. Sensational stuff from the big man from Tremor. 1:46.1 seconds as we concentrate on Kevin Baker and Thomas O'Grady in 3rd and 4th places. But Brian, he's going from strength to strength on this Aprilia, Andy.
Yeah, it's incredible. The fast riders are smooth riders, and Brian didn't even look as though he was going quick, but that's just is his natural ability to be able to. I mean, he shouldn't be so competitive on that smaller bike, you know, with his big stature. He shouldn't be able to tuck in behind that frame. You know, the slighter guy should be able to draft past him, but no, absolutely not.
Careful, Andy. He might come looking for you. What are you talking about? He might say to us up here in the commentary tower. It's good, though. It's really good. It's really good, and it's made it interesting, you know. Yeah, a lot of little incidents happen throughout the year, but it's been great. It's been a great championship once again. The Super Twin Championship and the Production Twin served up the goods as well. Not forgetting them, Nathan McGowan running in 7th place there at the moment. He's up into 7th place ahead of Davin Casey. We're looking at Kevin Baker and Thomas O'Grady. There's Kevin Baker, the Clare rider. Around Devaney's he comes, and champion-elect Thomas O'Grady from Lusk in North County Dublin, watching him as he drops down into Paddock Bend. And back with our race leader Brian McCormack. Wow, looks out under his left arm. He's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Brilliant stuff from Brian McCormack. And you know what, I had this chat at lunchtime, and despite the Superbike not running, he's got a smile on his face again, Andy, and it's nice to see that.
Yeah, always plenty of time for Brian, and great to chat with him as well. He's always free to give you some information and let you know how he's getting on, how his weekend is going. And as you said, the fact that he couldn't get the bike, the S1000 to go, still didn't put him off, and you can see that in his attitude and riding style at the moment. He has a lead of 1.3 seconds ahead of Derek Green, and we're over half race distance at the minute. So at the moment, the 4th position for Thomas O'Grady, number 241, on that Noel Williamson Aprilia RS660. That 4th position is plenty for Thomas O'Grady. He's going to pick up 13 points. Derek Green's going to pick up 20 for 2nd position. So that will take the deficit down 7 points. But with the gap of 15, it's plenty for Thomas to take the win and take the championship win.
Yeah, so back with the race leader, Brian McCormack, exiting 7B and climbs up out of there into Bahrain's Benz, and 4 laps completed of 7 this time around, which next time around there will be just 2 laps remaining for McCormack as he's smooth as you like through Devaney's. He comes. Derek Green has just totally lost touch with our race leader. Thomas O'Grady is happy there in 4th place, following Kevin Baker around and knows that all he has to do is keep it rubber side down here for the championship, as we should just about. We don't quite pick them up. There is second place Dara Crean, the Kerry rider, in behind Brian McCormick. Maybe we'll pan back to the third and fourth place. We do indeed. There's Kevin Baker and Thomas O'Grady, champion-elect, just over 2 laps away from his championship win, and it's everything will be crossed down there in the pit lane. Noel Williamson and Peter McMahon and Jess and everybody will be keeping legs and fingers and everything else crossed down there in the pit lane for Thomas O'Grady.
Yeah, they seem to be awfully reliable bikes, these Aprilias. We haven't seen any issues with them. As you said, Davin Casey's been running one for quite a while, and we've seen lots of them appearing on the grid, and we haven't seen any retirements or any mechanicals, so reliability is bang on with these little Italian bikes.
Yeah, and it seems to be pretty much, a very regular thing. Reliability, as you say, and it doesn't seem to be an issue amongst the twins anyway. They seem to be a very reliable old machine, albeit Suzuki's and Kawasaki's, but I suppose it does depend on the way they're set up and how highly tuned they are in the twins class. But as we say, they certainly are the new weapon to have, the RS660 Aprilia. They have certainly blown the ER6 Kawasaki's into the weeds, Andy.
Yeah, it could be another reason Michael Sweeney was down having a nosy, because he's been running ER6 for quite a while, and he's going to see the competitive nature of the RS660, and he could be dicing with Brian McCormick on the roads on one next year. You wouldn't know. So Michael Sweeney could be making a jump this year to different machinery, and you couldn't blame him for taking a look at these super little machines.
Here's McCormick down into Southside Motor Factors for the penultimate time, and really he has been phenomenal here this weekend. Brilliant stuff from him. Looks over the shoulder again, has a little look and sees, if he could read it with his eyes, it's a 2.264 second gap back to Dara Crean. Kevin Baker and Thomas O'Grady coming through Southside Motor Factors for the second last time, and down onto the main straight comes Kevin Baker to see that last lap flag just above his head now.
Yeah, the lap times have dropped off now, so they're doing high 146s, 147s for Dara Crean. So Brian has turned down the wick a little bit, as you might think. No need to be pushing so hard now for this last lap of the Principal Insurance Super Twins Production Twins race, as he heads out to Lola Corner for the last time in 2022. He'll go into the end of the season knowing that even if there is more to come on these RS660s, he's already bagged a new lap record on one.
Yeah, there is McCormick on his way down Daly's Drift for the very last time. And the last time we see Brian McCormick at Mondello Park this year. Here he is around 7A and 7B. Brilliant stuff from the big man from Tremor. And here he is into Bahrain Benz for the last time. Brian McCormick, new lap record holder, 1 minute 46.1 seconds flat for Brian McCormick on this RS660 Aprilia. He really has come out here into this class and shown the lads the way around. And you know, if he had competed in a full championship, it may have been a different story. But there is Dara Crean, who's going to finish second in the championship. Brian McCormick has a little look over his shoulder into Southside Motor Factors for the last time. Just tidies it all up nicely. He's going to have a little celebratory wheelie if he can get it up. He tried, but it didn't quite manage it. McCormick takes the win, does a little stoppy over the finish line. Well done, Brian. Dara Crean will finish runner-up in the Super Twin Championship. Kevin Baker next, and there's our race leaders. But let's have a look at our champion-elect, Thomas O'Grady, coming around Southside Motor Factors now behind the Clareman Kevin Baker. But there is Baker across the line. But the new 2022 Super Twin champion, Thomas O'Grady, ladies and gentlemen, 241 from Lusk in North County Dublin. Give him your appreciation as he gets around Max's turn.
Huge celebrations going on the pit lane from Noel Williamson. Well done, Noel. A truly well-deserved championship. Hard fought and down to the wire. The last race at the last meeting after 6 long months of competition. It is a win for Thomas O'Grady, number 241, and he should be absolutely over the moon with that result. Thrilled to bits. Well done.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and delighted for Noel Williamson and all the crew. You know, Noel has had his problems over the years in more ways than anyone can care to imagine. But look at that, a very, very happy Noel Williamson. I'm absolutely delighted for the whole team. Well done, Noel.
Well done, Noel.
Fantastic. We're absolutely delighted up here, and it's a championship win for Thomas O'Grady and the Noel Williamson sponsored RS660 Aprilia. Fantastic stuff. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It just says it all. The hugs, the kisses, the congratulations. It just makes it all so much worthwhile, and we just love it up here. Dara Crean, a valiant effort. Well done, Dara. Congrats from all of us up here in the tower. Well done, Dara. Good man, and has heard us there. It's great to see it. It's been a brilliant championship. And you know what? We look forward to more of it next year. Also, don't forget Mark Quilligan pushing in there. Mark Quilligan finishes third in the championship. Had a big high side last weekend out, but he's come back, and you can even see there's an injury there. You know, he's been giving it everything. So everybody back into the paddock, and go along there, ladies and gentlemen. Show them all your appreciation. This has been an amazing class, the combined production and Super Twins class. It's been amazing, and thanks to Principal, our series sponsors, it's been mega. Let's say that's what it's been. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, definitely one for the books, and you're looking forward to what the paddock entry is going to look like next year already, such as the competition with Indies, Super Twins, and indeed the production twins. Very little between them, and sometimes the production twins getting involved with the Super Twins as well also. So it's magnificent to see that the competition is, and again with a good sponsor like Principal Insurance as well, it makes it all the more worthwhile. So there'll be celebrations in the paddock and probably long hours into the night as well for Noel Williamson as we see a few drops of rain appear on the window. We hope that's just a shimmy. We don't want to see that appearing for another while.
And young Nathan McGowan doing his own little celebration. Oh, he just never gives up. Well done, Nathan. Production champion for 2022. He's going to make sure that back tire is shot when he's finished. Turn it off, pal. Turn it off. Brilliant stuff. Gets a big hug from Dara Crean. That's great stuff. Great camaraderie down there in the winners' enclosure, and it's great to see it, and it's lovely to see such a nice crowd around you all down there, lads, giving you all their appreciation. Don't forget the rest of all the riders, ladies and gentlemen, pushing in. They've all done a great job, and it's been mega entertaining. So, but for the moment, I think Fergus is ready in situ for the podium presentations. Over to you, Fergus.
Right, we're ready to go with our podium for the Super Twins and Production Twins, sponsored by Principal Insurance, who are here in the paddock if you want to have a word with them about your insurance. Before we get going, I'm looking for Luke Deegan, if he can come up to the podium, please. Luke Deegan, is he here? We're going to give Luke an award here because he spent all year trying to get onto the podium. Did on Saturdays, never got a podium, and unfortunately earlier today he had a little accident and hit the pit wall, so we just wanted to make sure that he got a little bit of something out of this weekend. He missed out on the podium on Saturday because we don't do podiums on Saturday, so well done to Luke on getting the podium.
Cheers, Fergus. Thanks very much. Cheers, everyone. Thanks.
All right, well done, Luke. Great to see him up and about after his accident earlier on today. And there's so much to remember here, so many people in the Holden area. I might get some of this wrong, but we're going to start with the Production Twins. And in third place in Production Twins, somebody needs to tell me who's third in Production Twins. Third in Production Twins? Dylan Daly. Tom Greenwood. There's so many people over here with championships, people from championships, people from the race, all in the Holden area. Next one is Tom Greenwood in second place. And our winner, in a great way for him to finish off the season, is Brandon Kavanagh. And we have another number one championship t-shirt or vest on for Nathan McGowan, but we'll get him up in a minute. No, we get Nathan, we'll get you up in a second. Hang on, we're going to talk to the lads from the very eager. So, Dylan, third place. You happy with the finish of the season?
Delighted, yeah. bad season there between crashing and injuries and stuff. So I'm happy out. So
And a good foundation for coming back next year, hopefully.
yeah, well I hope to change class next year now. So we'll see what the plan is. And
okay, well done on your season this year. Tom, been a bit of an up and down season, but you finished up on the podium.
Yeah, it was a great way to finish the year. The road a hard race, everybody was flying, especially Brandon. He was flying. I couldn't even stick with him. But I just like to thank my dad, Drew Patrick, for giving us the bike, Mad Bros. And it was a great race.
Okay, well done. Brandon, hop down. Yeah, you pushed all year for this championship. It's been a tough fight. Some absolutely fantastic racing, and it's great to see you finishing off with a win and second in the championship.
Yeah, very good year. A few mistakes I made myself, but second in championship, second year racing, can't complain with that. So I just like to thank everyone that helps me out, everyone that comes up and helps. SKD Motorcycles for sponsoring me, everyone else that's on the bike, and thanks a million.
Okay, well done, Brandon. Thanks to our top three in the production class. And now we'll get our 2022 Principal Insurance Production Twin Champion up onto the podium, Nathan McGarren. Oh, yeah, we go. We also have the Southern Star. Who is their top three, Eamon? So can we have Brandon and Tom Greenwood back to the podium, please? Nathan, you can hop up on the number one as our Southern Star champion, as well as the Masters champion. Good to see a handshake there between the two lads. Have been battling all season. This is Brandon second, Tom Greenwood third. This is the Southern Star Championship over the last two events of the year. Well done to our top three. You two can go. I'm going to talk to Nathan very quickly. Thanks a million for coming back up. Nathan, we've had problems with you all year. Now you're a champion. The language needs to be toned down. So tell us how the season was in clean words.
It was mostly up. There was a few downs. You know what I mean? There was hit and misses there. I was up in that tower probably nearly every round, seeing you or Rodney, you know. But it was all good laugh, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. It was an experience and something I'll never forget in my life.
Okay, after taking a little break as well from the racing, it's been great to see you back and doing so well.
Yeah, it was good. I took a little break there through the COVID, and now it's good to be back. Before you're back now in 3 years, and to be back on the top step for the championship just means a lot to me, you know.
Okay, well done. We've loads more to get through. We've got to keep it brief. Thanks a million to Nathan McGarren, our 2022 Production Twin Principal Insurance Production Twin Champion. It's been so long since I started the podium. I'm not sure I can remember the top three in the Super Twin race, but we'll have a go. In third in Super Twins is Kevin Baker. Third, making a return to the championship on a new bike for him. So it's great to see Kevin back. Second in Super Twins is Dara Crean. And our winner of the Super Twins, Brian McCormick, with a new lap record. Another lap record goes today. So well done to Brian on that. Thank you. So we'll go to Kevin because we need to speed things up. I know it's not good walking across the front of the camera. Kevin, good to see you back and on a new bike and up on the podium.
Yeah, happy out. It just kind of all worked out. I came up here Friday, but I didn't get out Friday. It started raining, so yesterday was my first day on it. It's going well.
Going very well. And you've been here before, obviously, on Twins and Super Sport, so good to see you back.
Yeah, no, delighted to know that bike. It's amazing, so hopefully we'll stay going.
Okay, good stuff. Well done, Kevin. A good run on your return to the championship. Dara, second in the championship, second today, string of second places, but a brilliant season on your move up to the Aprilia.
Yeah, absolutely delighted now. Obviously, sick of coming second the whole time, but sure, was really hoping for a win this weekend. But look, we finished the year in a high, second the championship. Well done to Thomas as well. He rode phenomenal all year, and I learned a lot off him, and yeah.
Okay, and we have to thank as well Dara, one of our sponsors here in the Masters, through his company Need Our Heat. So it's great to have him up here, and thanks for all your efforts this year. And now we're going to talk to the big man up at the top. I'm not sure who's to stay here and who's to go. Eamon will tell me that in a minute if we need it. Who's to stay? Okay, well, we'll keep you for the other awards, but we'll have a word with you now anyway, Brian. Lap record. That the Aprilias are a great little bike, aren't they?
Yeah, it was thanks to Global Robots. It's a great little bike to start the year. Unfortunately, we just didn't. I rode it here, went to the TT, and I couldn't get it running. So this is the second time I've ever ridden it. So it's a great little bike. I have to say, it's really good fun to ride. It doesn't scare the bollocks off you like the other bikes. You know, the big bikes are so intense and so scary. These are really fun to ride, and you can have a bit of crack. And we had a good dice. We had a really good race. The lads are really pushing on. So next year, hopefully, we'll come back with maybe 3 bikes.
Okay, well, great. Hopefully you will be. We do need to cut it short because we've another race getting going. We still have the Southern Star to do. Kevin, you can leave us. We're going to keep the other 2. And who's the other rider we need? Thomas O'Grady. Kevin, if you can. And we need Thomas O'Grady up here, please. We really need to move this on, lad, because there's another race out on track. So, winner, champion, Derek Green, well done. Southern Star champion. You must be happy with that.
It's something anyway.
Well done, Thomas. Our 2022 Super Twin champion and second in the Southern Star, but I know which one means more to you, winning the overall.
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah, I just want to thank all the team so much, all the special people around us. This costs an awful lot of money, and without all that help, it just wouldn't be possible. So, thanks so much. I really, it means so much to me. Thank you.
You've done a great job all year on a new bike, and obviously thanks to Noel, you have that bike and you're out here.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, no, honestly, like Noel, I rode the R6 last year for NW Racing. The team is fantastic, pure passion for racing, and that's what my family's all about as well. So it's amazing. Like.
Okay, thanks very much. Sorry we had to keep those interviews short, but we've another race out on track already. The celebrations continue here at the podium, and we're going to hand back over to James and Andy for the next race.
So thanks, Fergus. We're back with the action, and already the sidecars are away. Yeah, wasting no time here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to Fergus Brennan, and a big crowd down at the podium presentation. Nice to see it, and a lot of awards to get through there. Southern Stars and the championships to be dealt with, and Fergus doing a great job there as usual. Yeah, so we're already away on the opening lap of the sidecar class, and Dylan Lynch, the 2022 sidecar champion, is down to complete his first lap.
Yeah. Just watched Darren O'Dwyer and Mark Ashford were retirement. They had an issue on their warm-up lap and they had to come in the back gate. So they're parked up. And I remember the previous race, it seemed to be flaming out a lot of unburnt fuel in it. So maybe they have some problems with that bike. But I think then as it is, that's going to hand the Southern Star and to Dylan Lynch and Aaron Galligan, as well as the Adrian Shea or the Aidan Brown trophy to Aaron Galligan for the points tally that he's going to pick up this afternoon today at Mondello.
Yeah, but a 5-lap race here, Andy, and yeah, as you say, unfortunately losing Darren Dwyer and Mark Ash. That bike this morning was like a flamethrower. So I'm not sure if maybe some issues with the fueling as we watch our race leaders. Aaron Galligan, not sure what he was doing there, just sitting up having a little stretch. They're enjoying their championship win. That's what it is. That's certainly what it's all about. As we can see, that's number 18 there. That's Mark Cod and Liam Gordon in that second place. And already disappearing through Bahrain's Benz is Dylan Lynch with Aaron Galligan, the Eclipse Racing Team. The name Eclipse Racing Team comes from a late night meeting one evening of these two men, and it's a story that may be told some other evening on a bar stool with Aaron Galligan in tow, but a very, very entertaining story how Eclipse Racing emerged a number of years ago.
Yeah, they've been on top of their game for quite a while now on that LCR-based Suzuki, and straight away with no competition, another fastest lap with a 1 minute 50.893 as we wait Mark Cod, Liam Gordon past. They're doing 153s. Derek Lynch and Anthony McDonald are third on that F2 bike, and of course they're the championship winners for the Formula 2 class sidecars. Simon Scobie-Killock and Simon Mythen are in 5th place, and incidentally, if you're getting your Sunflower entry in, Scobie will take your Sunflower entry from the top of the sidecar garages towards the end of pit lane.
Yeah, and just a little message I received there just between the last two races, Andy. Little message from Aisling King. And Aisling, a very prominent member of the Orange Army over the years. And Aisling sent me on a message there and said, thanks very much for the commentary. We're entertaining her at home. I'm glad to hear it, Aisling. And it's nice to hear from you, Aisling. And we said we'd give you a little shout out live over the airwaves. So glad you're tuned in, Aisling. Great to hear from you. And we hope to see you soon back here at Mondello Park. All the best from us all here in the tower. Aisling King, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure the Orange Army around Mondello also wish you all the very best, my dear.
Yeah, thanks very much, Aisling. A warrior of the banks from the past. Aisling, we've seen her at the last round. I don't know when it was before that, but yeah, good to see you. Thanks for the message, Aisling. So, just to recap on our final sidecar race of the afternoon, Dylan Lynch and Alan Garrigan still lead with a 6-second gap from Mark Codd and Liam Gordon as we watch them come down, and with them they pass the tower. It'll be their last lap next time round. And then Mark Codd, Liam Gordon on number 18 on that black bike. Again, an RSR Formula 1, 1000cc. And then next up on the F2 Suzuki is Derek Lynch and Anthony McDonald. Then after that is Rob Hancock and Colin Smith. And they're on a Bennett F2 bike over from the UK for the weekend, being closely monitored by Scobie Killock and Simon Mythen.
Oh, and Scobie's up the inside. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Scobie is up the inside of Rob Hancock there into turn one. Nice bit of action there, Scobie, the old dog. Wow, brilliant stuff. Scobie living just off the Ulster Grand Prix circuit there, just up in Dundrod. And he's been coming to Mondello Park for more years than he'd even care to mention. And always a great character to speak to. Scobie, you know, he's always been there. He just seems to have been around forever, and he's still there. He is in picture, number 3, Scobie Killock, and Simon Mythen in the chair with him. One of the great characters of Irish motorsport in any way, shape or form. He's been around a long time, loves to suck on that old pipe and tell the stories, and over a beer at the bar or over a meal over there in Tucker's on the Naas Road. He's just very entertaining man indeed. Can tell you some great old war stories, Andy, he can. There's our race leader back into view, down into Paddock Bend for the penultimate time. The 2022 Dunlop Masters Sidecar Champion Dylan Lynch with Aaron Galligan into Southside Motor Factors for the penultimate time. Last lap flag is being prepared from here on the podium below me, and it's a country mile. The lead is over Mark Codd and Liam Gordon, not forgetting them back there in second place, but the gap is, wow, it's the full length of the main straight and more, and some, as they say. And there is Mark Codd coming down across the line now, some 11 seconds in arrears. Third place will be another long way back to the Formula 2 outfit of Derek Lynch and Anthony McDonald. Then Scobie Killock, the evergreen Scobie Killock, gets around Southside Motor Factors. Behind him is Rob Hancock and Colin Smith. And then next behind them is Fergie Woodlock with Luke Galligan in the chair beside him. They're coming down.
That's great to see Fergus getting back out. I know he had a problem with the water hose. He had a slight leak for race 2 that he couldn't get out to compete, but great to see him back out with Luke Galligan. Of course, Luke, son of Stephen Galligan, who's no stranger to the sidecar fraternity of Ireland. Runs in the blood, I think, up in the Galligan household.
Yeah, we're watching Dylan Lynch for the final time down along Daly's Drift and into 7A and 7B. Aaron Galligan up on the back wheel of that outfit, the Eclipse Racing Suzuki, and up they come, up the little rise, up into Bahrain's Benz, the left-right flip-flop chicane of Bahrain's Benz, and around the long left-hander of Devaney's it tightens up, and a little drop down into Paddock Bend. Anyone watching at the back of the circuit there, ladies and gentlemen, give him a wave, he'll appreciate it. Brilliant stuff. Dylan Lynch coming down. He already has the championship in his back pocket, but he's enjoying this, the last couple of corners of Mondello Park for the 2022 season. Dylan Lynch and Aaron Galligan, the 2022 sidecar champions. Aaron is absolutely delighted there. He's waving at everybody up around Southside Motor Factors. They're going to have a big celebration down across the finish line. The final few yards, slows it right down. Dylan Lynch and Aaron Galligan, 2022 sidecar champions, ladies and gentlemen. Well done.
Yeah, that's a clean sweep. So they've won the Dunlop Masters Championship, they've won the F1 Championship, they've won the Irish Championship, and now the Adrian Shea Championship as well. And that will earn Aaron as the most successful passenger of the weekend, the Aidan Brown Memorial Trophy. Of course, Aidan, a passenger who passed away some couple of years ago, fondly remembered by all the racing, sidecar racing fraternity. So that's a lovely trophy to have.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And we do remember Aidan Brown with some fondness. Tragically killed in a road accident a few years back. Mark Codd and Liam Gordon finishes in second place. Derek Lynch and Anthony McDonald finish in third on the Formula 2 outfit. Fourth place goes to the evergreen Scobie Killock. Wonderful stuff from Scobie and Simon Mythen. Rob Hancock and Colin Smith take fifth place. Fergie Woodlock with Luke Galligan in the chair take that sixth position. But all the eyes are on Dylan Lynch, and the kids are there, and the missus is going to be along. Aaron Galligan he's just jumped off, and he's going to enjoy this. Brilliant stuff. Well done, Dylan. Well done indeed.
Yeah,
Mark Codd pulls in, and we should have Dylan's brother Derek. Brilliant performance from Derek Lynch and Simon Mythen on the Formula 2 outfit as Scobie Killock just passes them on. And here we are. The lads will all stop and have a little meet and greet here in the winners' enclosure with the Maxis Delivery 9 van down there, one of our main sponsors here at Mondello Park. A few photographs being taken by the supporters and the teams. And I just see Luke, that's Anthony McDonald just getting the lid off there. Well done, Anthony. Good year for you. You've enjoyed it. And all of you there, well done, Dylan and Derek and all the Lynches down there. Brilliant stuff indeed. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, Luke was over to congratulate Uncle Aaron. So there'll be a good party in the Galligan household tonight, and rightly so. And great to see Liam Gordon and Aaron Galligan shaking hands to doing battle all year on the road, but best of friends in the sidecar community. So a popular win again for Dylan Lynch and Aaron Galligan with their Irish Championship, Dunlop Masters, F1 Championship, and Adrian Shea as well. Fabulous. Again, third place went to Derek Lynch and Anthony McDonald on the F2 Suzuki bike, and it's all smiles as we see Eamon Medler preparing to get the Southern Star Championship. And with that, we'll hand you over to the podium presentations with Fergus Brennan.
Right, we're ready to go with our final sidecar podium of the season. Great season they've given us all year. New champion Dylan Lynch crowned after the last race, but we still got one more podium to do. We're going to start with third place, and in third place is Derek Lynch and Anthony McDonald. Derek and Anthony making their way up. Then it's Mark Gash and Liam Gordon in second place. Just take a look down and see if they're here, they're ready. Yeah, come on lads, Mark Gash and Liam Gordon. Mark Codd and Liam Gordon. The brain is not working today. Too many podiums. And then our winner, yet again, Dylan Lynch and Aaron Galligan. I should say winners. Now we also have the Aidan Brown Memorial Trophy to present to this, but that's been worked out on the points from the 3 races over the entire weekend, so I'll need somebody to come and tell me what the positions are in that in a minute. But we'll get our interviews for the race podium out of the way. We also have Southern Star Awards, so loads of awards to do here. So, haven't seen you up here for a while. Who's doing the talking? Anthony, you're much better at it than him.
Apparently. We're not too bad, yeah. So happy enough with the result. Didn't think we'd get here today, to be honest, but happy enough we're here now.
And you've been doing all right considering you're using the 600cc bike and the short chassis. Is that something you're going to stick with in the future?
I think so, yeah. We had plans to go to the island now to do the TT and stuff, but so we needed obviously the short bike, but compared to the big bike, it's too much fun to let go, really. So I think for the time being anyway, yeah, we'll stick with the F2.
Okay, well, very good. Well done on your season. I'm going to make you speak now for once, Mark, even though I was calling you by the wrong name. He says it's an insult being called Mark Gash. I don't think so at all. Anyway, Mark Codd, well done. Another podium.
Yeah, look, happy enough. Brand new bike. To be honest, I'm struggling fairly bad all weekend, and
we're getting there step by step. So hopefully by next year we'll be able to run with this man.
And the plan is to stick with it. You did use a different bike earlier in the season.
Yeah, we were using the F2 there at the start of the year, and when we came back after the Man, we just went back to a big bike. But we changed only last week, and yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
Well done. Dylan, hop down here, please. And Aaron, come on, two of you. So well done, another win. Add to your huge tally of race wins here in sidecars.
Yeah, it's another one to add to the cabinet, and it's a bit easier. Nice to get a handy every so often. The boys let me away with today, and yep, another win.
Okay, well done. We're going to keep it short on that one because we're going to put you back up on the podium, and it's because it's the same three pairings for the Southern Star Award. So Southern Star top. This is over the last. A lot of blank faces didn't know about this. This is a championship that's been running over the last 2 rounds of our championship, only the last 2 events. So Dylan adds another championship to his title, as does Aaron. So well done to our top 6 in the Southern Star Championship. And now we have another award, which is the Aidan Brown Memorial Award. So I need to find out who's that's going to. A fairly good idea, seeing as he won so many races this weekend. It goes to Dylan and Aaron Galligan, award in memory of Aidan Brown, a former Mark. This is Mark Gash. But as it is, so the top 3 as it is, and there's some of Aidan Brown's family who are up here to present the awards to our sidecar crews. So well done to all of our sidecar crews. We'll figure out those awards. I think you might have a 3rd place and a 2nd place there, you two. So we'll figure that out afterwards. So well done on our top 3. We're going to head back now to our commentators for our final Supersport race of the season. We're really looking forward to that one. We can hear them out on their warm-up lap. So it's time now to go back to James and to Andy at the top of the tower.
Okay, we're looking at the grids for the Supersport race. Thanks again to Fergus for the podium presentations. And in that pole position, the 2022 Supersport champion Josh Elliott is in that pole position from Johnny Campbell. And Emmett O'Grady there completes the front row of the grid. Second row of the grid, Scott McCrory, Dean Lacey and Jason Floody. Moving along to the 3rd row, Jack O'Grady, the championship leader by 9 points. He's there from Daryl Sharkey and Sean Brawley. Jack Worthy is next there in the 4th row of the grid, Gary O'Reilly and Keith Richardson. So Dean Lacey is I think is there in 5th position. So yeah, Dean is on that in the middle, I think, of the 2nd row of the grid. I just have to check that once again. Or is it the 3rd row? We'll confirm that. I'm not sure if that grid screen was absolutely correct, but we'll just look down through them. Yeah, 39 is in fact Jason Floody there, so I can't quite get the number. I think that is Dean Lacey in the middle. Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, Scott McCrory, then Dean Lacey. So Dean Lacey is a full row up front of Jack O'Grady. Jack O'Grady first on the 2nd row, on the 3rd row of the grid. I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen. So no time for any grid interviews. We hear the siren going off to clear the grid as Josh Elliott, and just great to see it, you know, and a very, very happy Josh Elliott down there for the podium presentations before lunch, being confirmed the 2022 Supersport champion. A beaming, smiling face from him, and it's always great to see it. Johnny Campbell will be vying for another win here. Emmett O'Grady, you know, just going to see it out and hopefully do as well as he can. But the big battle here, ladies and gentlemen, is between Dean Lacey and Jack O'Grady. 9 points the difference. So Jack O'Grady just really has to keep Dean O'Grady in his sights and not let him get too far away. And if he can at all, the best thing to do is just beat him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the 9 point advantage It's not enough really so that you can sit back and enjoy the race. He's going to have to, ride competitively, ride hard, but not take any risks either, because any points that Dean Lacey brings home will only be of a threat if Jack O'Grady finishes some further back. I think 1 position, 2 positions back on the grid won't make any difference, but you really don't want to be too far out of the touch when you can see the rider in front of you that your main rival is in the championship. So just keep him in your field of vision, and hopefully reliability doesn't come into play and we get 8 laps of good competitive racing with no issues.
Yeah, and once again, just on the warm-up lap, we'll give a mention to Mammon Competitions, and they're in the paddock with their BMW S1000 are up for a raffle this evening, or a 7,500 cash prize. Charity competition in aid of the Ronald McDonald House Charity, only 20 quid a ticket with a maximum of 750 tickets. I know they're not all sold, but it's great odds. If you want to be in with a shot of winning that BMW S1000 RR, get along to the Mammon Competitions little canopy down there just beside the hub, Mondello Park, beside the Moro Cafe bar, and they're selling tickets for that in aid of a very, very worthy charity, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, great to see them supporting that Ronald McDonald House charity. Very worthy cause. So do indeed get yourself down and get your entry into that limited competition for that beautiful S1000 BMW, or £7,500 cash. We'll probably get you a tank of diesel for the car and a half tank of heating oil. But yeah, 7,500 or an S1000, a nice decision have to make. And again, they're just beside the hub in the paddock here. So yeah, don't know what to call this one now. It's going to be quite tight at the top between Jack O'Grady and Dean Lacey. Great consistency between them both all year, and that's why it is so tight coming down to the last actual race of the day for the Super Sport class at the last meeting. So a bit of nail biting going on, I'm sure, on the pit wall. Of course, Josh Elliott can enjoy this race on the AKR. Alex Knowles racing CBR 600, as indeed can his protege, number 20, Scott McCrory, on the identical CBR 600 RR also, who's on the second row. As we watch Johnny Campbell take up P2 on the grid, followed by Emmet O'Grady, number 3, third on the first row.
Okay, waiting for everyone to slot into their appropriate positions, and the grid marshal's just making sure everything is in order. We're waiting for the green flag at the back. We get that. Starter is happy. All eyes on the lights once again. The lights come on, and out they go, and away they go. Johnny Campbell gets a flyer from the middle of the front row. Yeah, let's watch them into turn 1. Johnny Campbell it is, and it is slots in behind him. Josh Elliott, Emmet O'Grady into third place. Scott McCrory pushed out wide by Emmet O'Grady, but we have to keep an eye out for that battle between Dean Lacey and Jack O'Grady.
Yeah, Dean Lacey got away nicely there, didn't get involved in any scraps, nothing too risky, just got away. I think he's in 6th position at the minute, which is isn't a bad start, maybe up to 5th. So now we have to take our eyes back a little bit further to see where Jack O'Grady is. Again, 1 point or 2 points behind him is going to be fine with that 9-point margin in the championship to the advantage of Jack O'Grady.
Wonderful action here in the Super Sport class as they make their way up Kennedy's Rise and around Lola for the first time of 8 laps. Johnny Campbell absolutely lit on the exit of Lola. Josh Elliott in behind him, and Emmet O'Grady. Emmet will want to go out with a bang here as well. He'd love to get a piece of the action at the head of things here, and I'm sure he's going to lay it all on the line here and just show the lads what he's capable of.
Yeah, he doesn't want to let them break in his toe, getting away from like they did in the first race and in his championship title bid. So yeah, let's hope he stays in the mix and gets involved with these pair, because they are absolutely dishing it out.
Yeah, and just on the opening lap, just watching down there, I think Jack O'Grady in around 7th position there, if I'm not mistaken. Or I beg your pardon, that was Dean Lacey, not sure, didn't quite pick up Jack O'Grady, but we shall sort that out at the end of lap 1 as our race leader Johnny Campbell gets around Southside Motor Factors, and would dearly love to make it a 3rd win here on the international circuit this year. 1, 2, 3 across the line they go. Johnny Campbell, Josh Elliott, Emmet O'Grady, Scott McCrory. Jack O'Grady is in 5th place. Wow, what a showing from Jack O'Grady. What sensational stuff from the championship leader. He has got the hammer down, Andy.
Yeah, that point advantage has just got bigger now with that 5th position, and of course he leads on the road in the Cup, and Sean Brawley is a fly in the ointment in between Dean Lacey and Jack O'Grady. So at the moment Jack is going to pick up 10 points for that 5th place to add to the 9 deficit, so he's in a really good strong position and clear road in front of him as well.
Yeah, but that's exactly where he needed to be. He was a row behind Dean Lacey at the start of this race, but now he finds himself leading the Supersport Cup class as the leading trio. Oh, Scott McCrory runs out wide around Lola. I wonder if he held on to it. He was flailing a leg there, trying to slow that bike down. Not sure if he didn't run out of track, but Scott McCrory, don't see any yellow flags. That looked, oh dear me, everything was hanging out there from Scott McCrory. Is he still there? He is. Oh my dear.
He is, a bit like the Damien Horgan incident yesterday. He there for the grace of good skill and luck that he managed to stay on, but yeah, he definitely had a moment there, and he's lucky to be able to carry on.
Yeah, and he ran it way out wide, but in the meantime, we've missed it, but Josh Elliott has retaken the lead from Johnny Campbell, and Emmett O'Grady is in close company there in 3rd place as well. But cracking racing. What an afternoon we're having here at Mondello Park, ladies and gentlemen, for the final round of the Dunlop Masters Supersport class. Our race leaders across the line: Josh Elliott, Johnny Campbell and Emmett O'Grady. Josh Elliott with a lap time 1:42.741. Brilliant stuff indeed. Scott McCrory next across the line. Then Jack O'Grady, Sean Brawley, Dean Lacey. Jack O'Grady has this championship in sight. This will be 25 points for him in the lead, and he has already got that 9-point advantage. And you know, Dean Lacey running there in 2nd place in the actually in 3rd place now in the Cup class. So it looks as though you know, all that Jack O'Grady has to do is keep the head, keep everything nice and tidy, and mind his own business where he is at the moment. Scott McCrory is in a very lonely 4th place, and Jack O'Grady is in behind him in 5th, and you know, he's got riders behind him that are keeping Dean Lacey very, very busy. So Jack O'Grady at the moment very happy with what's happening.
Yeah, Sean Brawley's got Dean Lacey in there for one reason or another, and that's just adding to the title hopes that Jack O'Grady has, number 157 on that GSXR. So all going well now for Jack O'Grady at the minute, with 2 laps completed of this 8-lap race.
Yeah, and here's our race leaders back up into Bahrain Benz once again. Johnny Campbell fires it into Bahrain Benz. Wow, sensational stuff. But Josh Elliott is just so smooth. Josh Elliott, he just never seems to put a wheel wrong. He's been sensational all year through, and even out in the Superbike class he's been really good. Kept Derek Shields honest in that opening Superbike race this afternoon, and here he is again turning on the style once more in the Supersport 600 class. Amazing stuff from Josh Elliott.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes on this lap time, because it's 1:42.6 at the moment is the quickest lap. That's still over a second outside the lap record for the Supersport on the international circuit, held by Glenn Irwin. As we watch Jack O'Grady come past the tower again, Sean Brawley still in the way of Dean Lacey trying to advance with 3 laps of this 8-lap race and 5 remaining. It's all going the way of Jack O'Grady so far.
Interesting you mentioned Glenn Irwin's lap record, Andy, from 2010. You know, he checks every time there's a race in Mondello Park. He checks, did anyone break my lap record? And that's true, you know, and he's quite proud of it, you know. He's quite proud of that lap record. So Glenn Irwin, yeah, I'm sure he'll be checking in again this evening. Did Josh Elliott do anything to my lap record?
He has a little entry in Oldman Park at the moment, so I'd imagine once he gets that out of the way, he'll probably have a look at the lap records. But yeah, it's still holding strong for him after 12 years. So
our race leader Josh Elliott back down into 7A and 7B, and I've had a few messages throughout the afternoon. I'm just going to get a look at 1 or 2 more. A nice message from Mike Meskel down in Limerick. Hi James, enjoying the commentary and live video, looking forward to the last Superbike race. Tempted to have another go next year after watching all this. Best regards, Mike Meskel from Lisnagurai in County Limerick. Well done, Mike. Nice to hear from you, and I appreciate the message, and I'm glad you're enjoying the action here. We're having a ball up here in the commentary box. It's been a really exciting afternoon, and we are so much looking forward to the final Superbike race, which is coming up very shortly. Josh Elliott backs it in to Southside Motor Factors. Johnny Campbell can't do anything about this. Josh Elliott is going out in style here. 2 laps remaining of 8. for Josh. I beg your pardon, I've just mixed that up. We're only half race distance. It's going so quickly here. We're just having a ball. Johnny Campbell, look at that all-action style of him. Scott McCrory in a lonely fourth place. But let's watch this now. Jack O'Grady next across the line. There he goes, Jack O'Grady, and Dean Lacey is right in behind him.
Dean Lacey has made a move on Jack O'Grady, and he's taken 2 places on that straight, so he's got the job done that he needs, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, Jack will be well aware of what's going on, knows what he needs to do, and really, it might be just about time to just wind it off a little bit and say, okay, let's just have this championship.
Yeah, I've just seen Jack having a look there again out on turn 3, heading out towards the country corners as well of the international circuit and Daly Strip. As we'll get back on the action and have a look at it's still Josh Elliott leading from Johnny Campbell. Eamon O'Grady certainly still in the mix, in better shape than he was in race 2, but a little too far back to get really involved, but not letting the other 2 guys run away with this.
You just never know, Andy, what the tyre situation is with these lads, you know. And you know, Josh Elliott just about a second outside the lap record that has stood here for so long. We've seen lap records go, ladies and gentlemen, that have stood for many, many years. You know, incredibly, that Superbike lap record that stood from 2008 has now gone today. Yeah, and it was Josh Elliott, in fact, who did the lap record in the Superbike class that stood for 14 years. A certain Alistair Seeley held that on I think it was a JMF R1 Yamaha way back in 2008. We're winding back the clock now as we watch once again our race leaders. We're trying to pick them up.
Yeah, that's the Cup riders who've just gone through, so the classification for that is Dean Lacey still has the advantage over Jack O'Grady. And Jason Floody, I think, is in the mix there, but the advantage that Dean Lacey has isn't enough to eat into the lead that Jack O'Grady has in the championship. So if it finishes as it is, Jack O'Grady will be the Supersport Cup champion.
Yeah. It reduces the gap by 5 points, but Jack O'Grady just needs to keep him in his sights. And let's keep an eye on Josh Elliott, see if he can improve and maybe threaten that Glen Irwin lap record. He'd love to be able to do 2 in a day. That would be something else now, wouldn't it? As Johnny Campbell, wow, just the style of Johnny Campbell on that bike. I just love watching this young man race. Ever since he was in the junior supersport classes, you know, he's been exceptional to watch, Johnny Campbell. And he's
again, a testament to how good that junior supersport class is, that you can jump on a super sport bike after it and be relatively competitive in a quick time. So credit to Johnny Campbell. He's really fun. He's having a look up the inside of Josh Elliott, but just not enough to make it stick.
So Josh Elliott once again, down he comes, and Johnny Campbell with the fastest lap, 1 minute 41.917. Johnny Campbell in the 141 bracket. That's sensational. 917. He's about 6/100ths of a second faster than Josh Elliott on that lap. They're both knocking on the door of this lap record. Well, in fact, they're 8/10ths outside the lap record. But it's as close as I've seen anybody come to Glen Irwin's record in many, many years.
There's nothing at stake here. You know, the championship's over, but they're still knocking 12 bells out of each other, and that's exactly what you want to see on the final day of the Masters.
And not forgetting Eamon O'Grady, he's not being dropped in any way, shape or form. 142, very low 142s for Eamon O'Grady, and he would dearly love to dip into the 141s as well. But it really is absolutely sensational stuff, and you can see how far ahead they are of the rest of the field. Johnny Campbell, he's not going to settle for second place here. Don't be surprised that if he doesn't have a go, with just about a lap and a half left to go in this one as they come around.
Johnny
he's gone!
Campbell
He's gone!
Slides off out of 7B. Well, they were definitely on the limit for the last couple of corners, so just the slightest of errors from Johnny Campbell, but Ryder completely A-OK. He's up on his feet straight away.
Yeah,
That's
just lost the back.
disappointing finish for the season for Johnny Campbell, but Ryder completely unhurt.
Just pushing a little hard, Andy, and I think that may have been just the front end tuck, pushing hard out of 7B, and unfortunately for Johnny Campbell, he's up and perfectly okay. And Josh Elliott knows now that he certainly will know that Johnny Campbell is gone, and that may have just taken all the momentum out of the race, as Josh Elliott once again completes another lap. On to the last lap for Josh Elliott. Emmett O'Grady backs it into turn 1. Johnny Campbell picking up the bike, and in fairness, it's good to see he's okay, giving the marshals a hand to get that bike into a position of safety. Well done, Johnny. That's the spirit. That's the spirit that makes racing great. You know, he's giving the marshals a hand there, and they love to see that.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's great to see the rider getting involved in recovering the bike.
Yeah. So often you see riders walk away and just leave it there. And
the expectation that somebody else is going to look after it. So costs nothing to go out and give them a hand.
Well done, Johnny. And Josh Elliott. Josh Elliott goes. He slides out of the lead. Oh dear me, he is just disgusted. He slides out and no need of it, but Emmett O'Grady finds himself, wow, the leader-elect for Emmett O'Grady is saying, what's happened here? All of a sudden I'm leading this. Josh Elliott slides out on the exit of turn 4. Oh, what a shame.
6 corners
what
left
a shame.
to take
we
a
just
victory.
Wanted to see him finish this one in style, but Johnny Campbell slides out. Josh Elliott follows him in. Oh no.
Emmett O'Grady has a look over 7A and 7B, can see the clear track in front of him. Power wheelies up to Paran Benz. He knows he's got this one in the bag by default, and that's the way racing goes sometimes.
Yep.
That's promoted Scott McCrory into second position on the AK Alex Knowles Racing CBR 600, and more importantly in the Cup battle, Jack O'Grady has got past Dean Lacey, so if he can just keep it together for the next couple of corners, he's going to be the 2022 Supersport Dunlop Masters Cup champion. So let's just watch how this unfolds.
Here he is, Andy, our race winner. It's Emmett O'Grady gets the Kerry. Congratulations along the pit wall. He's going to be absolutely delighted. A little consolation for him at the end of the championship. Hard luck to Josh Elliott. Josh is walking back into the back of the paddock. Very hard luck, Josh. It's been a brilliant year for you. You've done a great job. No harm done, I'm sure. He's a bit disappointed with that, but look, that's racing.
Hey, he's 100%. He's going to be able to enjoy the Superbike race anyway.
Scott McCrory takes that second place. Now the battle for the Super Sport Cup Championship, and Jack O'Grady is
Dean
coming
Lacey
down.
just got under Jack O'Grady, but it doesn't matter. It's all over. It's a win. It's a win for Jack O'Grady in the Super Sport Cup Championship, despite being passed by Dean Lacey in the last corner into Southside Motor Factors.
Yeah, brilliant stuff indeed, and what an exciting race, and it ended in no way that we could have expected. Johnny Campbell sliding out of 7B, and unfortunately Josh Elliott, who's back into the back of the paddock, sliding out on the exit of turn 4. No harm done, Josh. Live to fight another day. Emmett O'Grady takes the consolation victory from Scott McCrory. Dean Lacey takes the win in the Super Sport Cup class, but the 2022 Super Sport Cup champion is Jack O'Grady, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant stuff indeed, and congratulations all around down there in the winners enclosure. Once again, trying to get them all sorted down there with their Dunlop hats. A lot of Dunlop hats around the place this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, but it's been another cracking Super Sport race, and just one you couldn't actually predict. I'm not sure if we're going to get the graphic up on screen of our final finishers, but for the record, Emmett O'Grady took the win, and indeed we do thank you very much to our crew downstairs. Emmett O'Grady takes the win from Scott McCrory. Dean Lacey takes the Super Sport Cup class from Jack O'Grady, but Jack O'Grady takes the championship there in 4th place. 5th was Jason Floody, Darryl Sharkey 6th, Jack Worthy 7th, Alex Duncan, Tom Greenwood and Keith Richardson complete the top 10. So
yeah, another breathtaking Super Sport result in Cup and Pro again. As you said, such an eventful race that you couldn't have predicted the results here. I mean, Emmett O'Grady is going to be delighted with that win to cap off his 2022 Super Sport season. And he joined late, we have to admit as well. We weren't expecting to see him on the Super Sport grid, having focused his attention with the VTL Honda Fireblade. But just shows he's still got the competitive edge in the 600 class as well.
Yeah, so we are. What an afternoon it's been. I've really enjoyed this, and we still have the finale of the Superbikes to come. But for the moment, we're waiting on Fergus Brennan to get into position and look after the podium presentations for the Supersport class. A very unexpected Supersport podium, you have to admit, ladies and gentlemen. But Johnny, with the demise of Johnny Campbell and Josh Elliott there on the final 2 laps. What a shame. And you know, did I put the commentator's hex on Josh Elliott? I did say he hadn't put a wheel wrong all year. My apologies, Josh. I won't mention it again. I do apologise. Sometimes it just is sod's law and it happens like that. But Fergus Brennan just down there getting everything organised for the podium presentations, and we're looking forward to this once again. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, will be the Superbike and Supersport B, followed by the grand finale, the shootout for the Superbike Championship 2022. Derek Shields has a 1-point lead over Thomas O'Grady. That's coming up, ladies and gentlemen, in about 25 minutes time following the Superbike Supersport B race. But for the moment, Fergus Brennan is just about ready to go down there for the podium presentations. Over to you, Fergus.
Thanks, James. Kind of sorry to see the end of that Supersport season. It's been fantastic action all year. Our Dunlop Supersport Championships finished. Unfortunately, our champion didn't get to the finish. We might get a chance to talk to him again. We spoke to him a couple of times earlier, but he's probably going to get ready for the Superbike race, so we may just have to leave that one. But in the before that, we're going to call up the top 3 in the Supersport Cup. And in 3rd place in Supersport Cup is Jason Floody. With Jason Floody 3rd. 2nd place, and another man in one of his lovely champion t-shirts, Jack O'Grady, our 2022 Dunlop Masters Supersport Cup champion. Well done, Jack. And then the man who's put in the strongest performance at the end of the season, just picked up, I think, his 1st overall podium, finished 3rd overall, as well as winning another cup race. Well done to Dean Lacey. Big fan base down in Wicklow for this man, I think. I think half of Wicklow is here. Big smile on his face. And we'll also have our Supersport Cup Southern Star Awards to give out. We'll get on to that in a minute. Jason, 3rd place in the championship.
Yeah, oh, I don't even, did I get
Oh, no, I don't know. We'll ignore that one. 3rd place up on the podium, that'll do.
That'll do me. The boys are absolutely flat out all year, and I'd nothing for them in that race, so I hadn't. Just again, big thanks to Werty Racing, supplied the bike this year, Andrew Werty setting up and everything, DM Groundworks, everyone for this year to help me out. Thanks very much. I didn't even think this was possible, but to lose to these boys, I've no issue with that at all. You know what I mean? The boys are on it all year, so happy for them. So I am.
Thank you very much, Jason. Very generous words from Jason there. Jack, oh no, what I'll do, I'm not going to talk to you just yet. We're going to talk to Dean. We leave the champion to last. Dean, I think you might be a champion as well. I think Eamon might come to Southern Star Championship. At least there's some sort of a reward for your pace at the end of the season. You've done a brilliant job.
Yeah, that's brilliant. To be honest, I didn't even bloody know there about Southern Star thing. I'm brutal. But yeah, delighted. And it was a nice, strong performance at the end of the season. Delighted. And yeah, it's been a long season.
Well, it has, because you went and did a few road races as well. We gave you a bit of a slagging earlier in the year for turning into a road racer on us. But you've shown you really can do it on this. On your progression onto a Kawasaki from the old Honda, you really proved what you could do.
Yeah, it's a big change from the old Honda, like a massive power difference in the handling and stuff. I guess it's, I don't even know what to say, but yeah, I don't know if they turned into a road racer, but I think I'll be back here next year and giving it a good old bash and revamp the bike.
You'll be up in the pros next year, I think.
Yeah, looking like it all right, so I think it'll serve me time there for a while.
That's what happens when you're too quick.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Jack, another man definitely heading for the Pro Championship this year if he comes back to us. You've had an up and down year, but you've been there consistently. You've been running at the front of A races earlier on in the year, a lot more than at the end of the year. But the pace has been hot, and you've come out on top of a really competitive championship. You should be very proud of that.
Yeah, AJ was really unlucky to crash second last round and get injured. He was riding really well all year, and that opened up a gap for myself and Dean, and there was a lot of pressure coming in, and two of us get on really well, and we've had good races back and forth all this season and last season in the Cup as well, so it was nice to leave it down to the last race. I had two really bad races, just being too cautious in the first two races, and it was nice to have one good race between the two of us to finish the championship.
Okay, well done. Hop back up on the podium. But hop up on the podium there, please, Jack. Jack, if you hop back up again on third place. Round of applause, please, for our 2022 Dunlop Masters Super Sport Cup champion. And now we're going to move on to our awards. Are we to move? No, stay there, lads. Stay there. Stay there. Jason and Jack swap around. So third place then in the Southern Star Championship is Jack. Second in the Southern Star is Jason. And for his performances in the last two events of the season, top man at the end of the season, Dean Lacey. And we have one more thing for Jack. If we can get it here, just one more thing to give Jack. Very special Super Sport Cup Dunlop hat. 2022 Super Sport Cup champion. Right, we're going to move on now to the main Superbike race. We'll just let Georgia get the thing. I'll move back into my position. Sorry about all this walking back and forward. I'll get back into position. And we're going to hold on to Dean. Dean Lacey, don't go anywhere. Because in third place overall, as well as winning the Cup division, is Dean Lacey. Second overall and his first time up on the podium as a pro rider, it's Scott McCrory. Riding for the AKR Thomas Byrne team, who also won the championship this year. And then our winner of the race, Emmett O'Grady. Dean, I'm not going to talk to you. We've talked to you enough. And we're running out of time. Scott, a big change in the middle of the year moving over to the AKR team, and you finished off the season really well.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the podium in good form. A huge thanks to AKR Thomas Byrne Racing for giving me the bike to be up at the front end and competing at the front end. It's just getting the grips with it and getting comfortable with it, and I'm loving every minute out in the bike, so it's good to be back on the podium anyway.
Okay, well done. Great performances this weekend, really consistent. Emmett, up down there. I don't think you were expecting that win at about lap 4 or 5, were you?
Well, I kind of see, I lost them in touch for about lap 4, and I was like, I have to dig back in. And coming up into the last 2 laps, I was like, the boys are pushing. I could see that who was the second?
Johnny.
Johnny was starting to make inroads into Josh, and I said, if I stay thereabouts, something is going to happen. There will be moves made in the last 2 laps. But I wasn't expecting Johnny to go down. He just touched the white line, carrying a lot of corner speedway within. And then Josh was a complete surprise. It was the same crash that happened to me 2 rounds ago, where it was the final part of the corner, just you're picking a throttle. So it's kind of left with nothing to do with the last lap, only bring it home, which is, look, it's a good victory for me. Great competition all year. Josh, true champion, to be fair to him. He's a class rider, and it's on to better things for him and for us. We'll be back here next year.
Okay, great to see you up on the top step of the podium again. We still have our more awards. Just hang on up there. Eamon, tell us who do we need? Well, Josh and Johnny, if you're available, I know they're both out in the Superbike race, so they may not want to come back up for these. So, in fact, I'm fairly sure of that. So I think we'll have to do that one later, Eamon. We just have to let that one go. We can give Emmett his award on the way out there, but it looks like we're not going to get the other 2 guys. Emmett as well has to go off to the Superbike race to get ready for the Superbike race. So we're going to hand back over to the lads for the next race.
So thanks for that. Fergus, we're looking at our grids for the final Superbike and Supersport B race. And the second row is Jack Mears, Noel Carroll, Carl Laherty. The next row is Colin Kerwick, Aaron Malone, and Vinnie Barber is on a mission following an injury to the last race. And we will have 7 laps of this final Supersport and Superbike B race over the 3.5 kilometres of the Mondello International Circuit. Message in from Technical Steward, Mr. Paul Bates, who's enjoying the commentary and the racing in his hometown of Bettystown. So that's glad you're tucked in and enjoying the racing, Paul. Hopefully we catch up with you again shortly. Thanks for that kind message, very good. So the front row is Almantas Montvillas, again number 170 on that BMW S1000. And just alongside him is number 76, Robbie McGoran, Superbike on the ZX10R. And then just to the left is Hugh O'Sullivan, who ran them ragged on his R6. So see how close he can keep with the competition over this 7-lap race as they head out for their final sighting lap of the weekend and indeed the year. So previous race winner Almantas Montvillas comes down to Southside Motor Factors to take up his position at the top of row 1. And Robbie McGowan will be alongside him, and then the R6 mounted Hugh O'Sullivan, who's able to get in the way the last time. And row 2 then consists of Alan Connor, John Cahill, Jack Mears, then Noel Carroll. I think Carl Doherty is on a mission as well. He came off in the previous race, so get well soon, Carl. As indeed did Vinnie Barber. Hope something too serious, Vinnie. Hope you're up on your feet again very shortly. So practically all the riders are back in, and we will have 18 bikes for this final Superbike and Supersport B race. We were again wondering where John Byrne was, the Bunclody man, but he's actually qualified for the main race, which will be our final race coming up next. Eyes all on the lights. And watching the man, Almantas gets the best getaway and is safely out of turn 1, Max's corner, as he straightens the bike up and layers it in on his left-hand side. Into turn 2, gingerly away. Robbie McGowan still in second place, and I think it's John Cahill who's got a great start ahead of Hugh O'Sullivan to take up that third position on the road.
Yeah, that's the unmistakable figure of John Cahill. You're certainly right there, Andy. Just noting the amount of cars around the paddock here today, and a lot of people on the banks out around the circuit, out on the international section having a look. Nice to see you all there, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying the action. We are certainly having a ball here in the commentary position. It's been amazing. It's been a topsy-turvy afternoon in more ways than one, and we still have the finale of the Dunlop Masters Superbikes to come, with Derek Shields with that 1-point advantage over Thomas O'Grady. Thomas O'Grady, the newly crowned Super Twin Champion 2022. Can he do it again in the Superbike class? That's what we're all waiting to see, as we still have to dispatch this Superbike and Supersport B race. 7 laps, and they are well on their way. Almantas Montvillas looks as though he is taking certainly is taking charge of this race once again, as he did earlier this morning. I think it was the Superbike Supersport B was our first live race this morning on the live stream here on the Dunlop Masters Facebook page. Hope you're enjoying the action, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a few messages along the way, and you know, it really is nice to hear words of encouragement. It's great to see it. Great to hear from you all, and thank you for tuning in, and I do appreciate the kind comments. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, it certainly adds to their day, all right, when you hear the positive comments coming in. But I do have to admit, even though we have a fine advantage point to watch the racing, it's been really a quality series. It's been a championship of pure quality, and we've enjoyed every round from April onwards, and it's been a pleasure to be up here commentating with you, James. So thanks for all your words of encouragement from everybody, and James for leading me down the road of the commentary. As we watch our Mantis Montvillas number 170 BMW S1000 mount come around turn 4, Bridgestone corner, and head out into Lola corner. Into Lola, then he goes, followed closely by Robbie McGowan. Again on the ZX10R number 76, John Cahill number 11, still benefiting from that good start that he got ahead of Hugh O'Sullivan in 5th.
Yeah, John is flying there, Andy. I think he may have had a bit of encouragement from the electric picnic, which is down alongside him down in Stravely. You're not allowed to call it Stradbally, it's Stravely, they say.
Stravely, right.
So yeah, I think John might have been rocking at the electric picnic, and it certainly has lit the spark in him for this weekend. He's flying there in 3rd place, John Cahill, just having a bit of fun. John has been racing for so many years, Andy. I'm sure, I remember a 30th anniversary celebration maybe 5 or 6 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
That could be true now, yeah, well before my time now. But not
on,
well before. Speaking of good starts, Alan Connors had a brilliant start, number 211, the Duleek Road Racer, has made up another position on Hugh O'Sullivan as well, and he's running 5th on the road.
It's up to 4th, I think,
at the road.
He's got John Cahill in his sights, and I think he's passed him, not quite, but a little bit of a battle going on there for that battle for 3rd place. And yeah, there he is, right in the wheel tracks of John Cahill, and you can see the rear light of Alan Connor's Suzuki prominent there as he exits Campion's turn 2. So John Cahill and Alan Connor, a lot of racing miles under the belts of these two senior racers. Out in the support class here, the final support race of the year, Andy, and it's hard to believe it's all coming down to one final race. And just having a chat with race control downstairs, I don't remember a series as tight as this in many recent years. You know, we've had Superbike championships decided before the final rounds. We've had a lot of classes decided, but we had a lot of tight racing all the way through this year. And all came down to the final couple of races, and no exception, the Superbike class to come. 1 point difference between Thomas O'Grady and Derek Shields. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. It's an extraordinary situation to see the Cup and Superbike Pro class coming down to the exact last race of it just shows how competitive that the series is, you know, and how well structured it is through all the different classes where you have such tight combinations. You know, we've only had the Super Twins, Production Twins sorted out today. Super Sports literally only a couple of hours ago, and we're still waiting for one more series, the Cup and the Pro Superbike classes to be figured out. So yeah, it's a really well structured series, and it's great to be a part of it. Looking forward to it next year already.
Yeah, certainly so, and there is our race leaders. In fact, that's not the battle for 3rd place between John Cahill and Alan Connor as we come down to complete. There are 3 laps completed of 7, so still 4 laps to come. And yeah, maybe somebody down there in the pit wall for Alan Connor needs to give him a little bit of a giddy up. Kenny Linehan, are you down there? Tell him get the finger out, pal. It's John Cahill in front, I'm sure. John is just enjoying it. Almantis Montvillas continues on his merry way, 3.1 seconds ahead of Robbie McGowan. Then John Cahill is 5.9 seconds back. Fastest lap, 1 minute 53.131 for Almantis Montvillas on lap 3.
Yeah, good ride for him. It's good, solid results all weekend from Almantis on the S1000. Robbie McGarren still in third, John Cahill third, and as you said, Alan Connor knocking on the door. And maybe we'll fancy a little look at a podium if he can just turn the wick up a little bit more, get those sector times down before John Cahill realises who's chasing him down. 4 laps to go of the 7-lap race, and Sean Wynn, number 77, is still circulating. Jack Meir and Carl McGahan have retired riders completely okay. As we wait for the leaders to come around once more into Paddock Bend and up into Southside Motor Factors. A lonely race for Almantis Montfelis on his own.
Our race leader Almantis in your shot now, another fast lap from him, 1:52.569. But Andy, long way off the pace of the Superbike A class, really, to be honest about it. And these what you would call the consolation race or the non-qualifiers race, but certainly it does show you the reason why the qualifying is so important here, because these very, very quick men we shall be seeing soon, it just would cause all sorts of issues as we watch John Cahill through Bridgestone turn 4, and not sure Alan Connor has slipped back a bit. Alan is not sure, maybe too many cups of tea and biscuits for Alan there in the paddock this morning. I think he's just maybe looking forward to the road home and a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Could be that. Pack up the horse box and get home. Yeah, 3 laps remaining then in the Superbike and Supersport B race. So Almantis Montfelis still leads on his S1000 from Robbie McGarren and John Cahill in third. Then Alan Connor, 2-1-1 from Hugh O'Sullivan and Noel Carroll in sixth. Sean Wynn, number 777, is still third. Aaron Malone 8th. Colin Kerwick 9th, and Richard Hearns in 10th position, 967. Yeah, it's good to see that the B races are heavily populated. It's I suppose, indicative that the Superbike grids are so full as well, that you have so many riders that are entitled to their B race with their entry fee. So yeah, good stuff. That brings us down to our penultimate lap of the big B series, last race of the year. And there indeed, Hugh O'Connell has passed Alan Connor, bring Hugh Sullivan up to 4th. Alan Connor is demoted down to 5th as we watch the battle between Aaron Malone and Sean Wynn. Aaron Malone gets the better of Colin Kerwick and Sean Wynn in that manoeuvre. That is demoting Sean Wynn down to 10th place. Actually, have we lost Sean Wynn?
Just maybe panning back for that now, we'll see. But there is our race leader, Almantis Montfelis, around Lola. And he really, what a very, very disjointed and spread out race. This is long, long way back to Robbie McGowan. And yeah, so we shall just really winding down the clock here to the main event of the afternoon and the evening now, as we're pushing on towards 5 p.m, 10 to 5, quarter to 5 it is just about, as we watch the riders on their last few laps of the B race. Last lap flag is being readied down here below me. Race leader down onto the main straight, and it's Almantis Montfelis, the number 170 rider Almantis Montfelis on his BMW, as John Cahill peels into Southside Motor Factors. Robbie McGowan is already across the line in second place, some 12 seconds in arrears of the race leader, Almantas Monvillas. John Cahill is in third place. Hugh O'Sullivan is in fourth. Alan Connor across the line in fifth. Noel Carroll, another Laois rider, comes across the line there in sixth place. Then it's going to be Aaron Malone, Colin Kerwick, seventh and eighth positions. But here's our race leader, Almantas Monvillas, on that BMW S1000RR, complete with the wings. And there he is, our race leader, disappearing over the brow of the hill, across around Lola and out onto Daly's Drift for the final time.
Yeah, he's had a lonely old race on his own, but managed to keep it upright as he goes in 7A and 7B. Of course, that's the corner where we've seen Johnny Campbell come off in that Supersport race. Such was the pace, chasing down Josh Elliott. And into Brands Benz for the final time. Right, left-hander, right-hander, and then the left-hander into Devaney's. That sweeping corner, which is going to bring him up to Paddock Bend for the very last time this year.
Yeah, here he is, Andy, around Paddock Bend and up into Southside Motor Factors to take a very, very comfortable win in the 7-lap support race. There he is, Almantas Monvillas. He gets the congratulations from his pit crew down there on the pit wall, and he wheels it right in underneath the pit wall and takes the checkered flag. And an absolute country mile back down the road is Robbie McGowan in second place. Here he is around Southside Motor Factors. John Cahill is lost out on that third place in the very last corner, but there is Robbie McGowan across the line. John Cahill has been outfoxed by Hugh O'Sullivan, the young pretender, number 972, the newcomer on his ZXR10 Kawasaki. So that was it, the 1, 2, 3. Almantas Monvillas, Robbie McGowan takes second place, and then Hugh O'Sullivan there in. So that concludes it, ladies and gentlemen, for the support races. So yeah, that's it, concludes the Superbike Supersport B. And coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the Superbike main event of the day, the championship decider between Thomas O'Grady and Derek Shields. 1 point in it, the advantage lies with Derek Shields. And we're looking forward so much to this one, but we will just get the top 10 out of the way for you here in the Superbike B race. Almantas Monvillas takes the win from Robbie McGowan. Hugh O'Sullivan was third, John Cahill fourth, Alan Connor fifth, Noel Carroll sixth, Aaron Malone was seventh, Colin Kerwick eighth place, ninth Richard Hearn, and 10th Albert Pender. Some 53 seconds in arrears there, Albert Pender in 10th place. So that concludes that, ladies and gentlemen, and we are waiting now with bated breath for the final race of the season, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. Coming right up very, very shortly indeed, the finale of the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. We will take a very, very short break for the moment, and we will be back with all the action for you in the finale of the Superbike Championship. Thank you.
The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship live stream is delivered by Maxis Commercial Vehicles and the Harris Group.
Can I be where
The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship is supported by DM Groundworks, FJS, Darracor, Sorcon Plant and Nidar Heat.
So there's the boom of the Superbikes heading out for their last time this afternoon, and we have the Cup and the Pro Championship still to be decided by the slimmest of margins, and with that we'll get you ready and get James Halligan down to have a chat with some of the riders. So over to you, James.
And welcome back to the final Superbike grid of 2022, and I'm joined with Series Director Fergus Brennan. What are your, Fergus?
Yeah, it's been some day on the podium. If I don't make any sense now at this stage, I'll be doing podiums all day with so many awards being given out. It's been brilliant. It's been a great buzz, but it's great to see so many people here, and hopefully they'll all come over and join in with celebrating the end of the Superbike Championship after this race. It's been a fantastic year. We've never got anywhere close to what we have in the Superbikes, with just 1 point between the top two going into the final race. I can't remember the last time it even went to the final race, never mind only 1 point in it. So there's just so much going on. Somebody's going to be very disappointed in about 20 minutes, and somebody's going to be over the moon, and no idea who that's going to be. We have to just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, they're very closely matched. They've got different styles and different manufacturers. The Yamaha has its strengths in different parts of the circuit. The BMW is extremely fast. They're both fantastic riders, and actually, you know what, the two of them are really lovely lads.
Yeah, and we're talking about Thomas O'Grady and Derek Shields, but there's other guys there who are going to be in the mix in this. Kevin Keys and Josh Elliott are going to be in there. I don't think Emmett O'Grady or Brian McCormick are going to make it out for this one, which is unfortunate. It would have added even more into it. We also got Alan Kenny in there, so like we really got a lot going on, and really just hold on to your hats, because you know this could, well, it could all go wrong in the first couple of laps, or we could have a classic, but it's going to go to the end of the season. Final race of the season. It's great to finish with the Superbikes. We had to rearrange the timetable a little bit to do it, and hopefully all the people that have come along to watch today are going to enjoy what we put on show for them now for this final one. Big screen there in front of the grandstand to watch the action from the whole way around the track, thanks to Megabikes. Also the live stream is there thanks to Maxis and Harris, the Harris group. It's great to have John McAvoy from the Harris group here earlier. We've also got our new van, our new Maxis van in there. So lots of things going really well, and the whole thing looking up, and we're looking forward already to getting back here and doing this all again next season.
Yeah, and we've been lucky so far with the conditions.
Yeah, well, they messed us up with some of the races earlier in the year with rainfall just as the Superbikes came out. So we're going to get this going, get it over with before anything else happens.
Well, I'm going to grab a quick word with some of the lads. Some of the main components in the 2022 Dunlop Masters Championship. Derek, happy enough?
Oh yeah, we'll give it a shot anyway. It's probably going to be a bit of a ding dong again, so we'll just fire on, see what the story is.
Well, we're excited to see you here.
Sorry?
We're very excited to see you here.
Yeah, well, sure, look, it's good racing, it's good for everyone, good for the crowds, good for us. You know, we're enjoying it. You know, it's dry. Let's go.
Excellent. We're going to move across to the pole position man, Josh Elliott. And he's on the AKR racing machine. Josh, pole position, making good use of the fire blade.
It's feeling better and better. You know, it's still not 100%, to be honest. We're making small steps, but really need a test day to come here and really perfect it. But yeah, I'm just managing the best I can.
you know, I got a good race there with Derek in that last, in race 2 there, and yeah, we'll just see what we have. You know, made a few wee changes, but yeah, we'll see what we can do.
It's getting quite cold. Is that going to affect you?
Well, the Dunlop tyres probably suit the warmer conditions, to be honest. But no, we'll just try and manage as best we can and see where we end up really, and hopefully have a good race.
Well, we're delighted to see you on pole position, and you and your team. Well done, congratulations. I think we should definitely go back to the to row 2. And Thomas O'Grady's crew chief really wants to say a few words to us, but he's a bit shy, so we let Tom do the talking. Tom.
Yeah, we're geared up to go. We're 1 point behind coming into the last race of the season, and it was always going to come down to this last race. I'm absolutely buzzing to be around this caliber of riders, and I'm going to do the absolute best I can. I'm going to ride the wheels off this Clear Energy R1, and I want to thank everyone that's been a part of this year.
I have to say to you, it's been a pleasure for the whole year working with you, and you're really great lads. I'm delighted to see you here.
Yeah, no, thanks so much. There's been such a great group of people around us, and the race has been phenomenal. I want to thank all the marshals and everyone that made these events possible, so thanks so much.
Anyway, Fitzy wants to say the final word for 2022. Fitzy, what's the final word?
Let's just be a safe one and we all come home safe and hopefully we're in P1.
Congratulations, well done lads, and we'll hand you back to James and Andy in the tower.
So all the last minute adjustments being made, tyre warmers are coming off, paddock stands being dropped for the final time of 2022. The Dunlop Masters Superbike finale is upon us by the slimmest of margins. 1 point separates number 2 on the grid, Derek Shields, from number 4 on the grid, Thomas O'Grady. All to play for still 8 laps of the international circuit. And literally 1 point separates the two rivals.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, Andy. And just going to give a little shout out to one of Tommy's sponsors, Peter McMahon, on the EICL Clear Energy R1 Yamaha. Peter McMahon always comes up with the information about what's going on in Tommy's world, and you know, they've had a brilliant year. They've done everything they can for Tommy. He tells me at this stage the Clear Energy Solutions EICL bike is handling great, suspension is good, electronics are good, everything is spot on. The data analysis is working well for them. And Peter tells me he asked Jeremy McWilliams, his good friend, for advice just before the last rounds. Said, Thomas, just go out and believe that he can do it, you know. So their main goal for the weekend was psychological. We just need Tommy to believe that he is better than anyone else on the track. And Peter goes on to say, just so as you know, we probably won't be back here next year as we're thinking about going to Spain for the R1 Challenge Cup. Well, if that's the case, Pete, we wish you all the best, and Thomas will be sadly missed from the Superbike grid next year if that's the case. We look down at the grids, and Josh Elliott there is there in pole position from Derek Shields and Kevin Keys. Second row of the grid, Thomas O'Grady, Alan Kenny and Johnny Campbell. We go back to the third row, and it is Carl McGahan, Andrew Worthy and Daniel Matheson. And the fourth row, Jamie Collins, Dean O'Grady, those two battling it out for the Superbike Cup class, and Evan O'Grady completes the fourth row of the grid.
Great to be joined by Jim Halligan up at the tower for some kind words of encouragement. He's showing us all his maturity and experience that he has. So the bulk of the Superbike riders completing their siding laps before we can begin this enthralling 8-lap affair to determine who's going to walk away the 2022 Dunlop Masters Superbike champion and who's going to be the 2022 Superbike Cup champion. Again, just 1 point the difference between number 241 Thomas O'Grady And Derek Shields, number 82 on the Roadhouse Macau BMW M1000 RR, throwing into the mix. Josh Elliott on pole position, Alan Kenny 5th on the grid. Johnny Campbell, of course, no ill effects, as indeed neither has Josh from that little slip off in the Supersport race.
Yeah, but it's all to play for, as you say. And Thomas O'Grady on the second row of the grid there. Surprisingly, didn't have a great opening race this afternoon, so hopefully they've dialed it up there a little bit. Waiting for the lights to go out here. They come on, and immediately they will go out very quickly indeed. Flying start from Josh Elliott. Derek Shields has a little bit of trouble getting that BMW off the line, Andy, but they're away, and it looks like Josh Elliott will be first into turn 1. It is Josh Elliott, then Derek Shields, Thomas O'Grady right in behind him, then Alan Kenny in 4th place. Brilliant stuff indeed. Jamie Collins, and I think it is the challenge of Andrew Worthy there together in 5th and 6th places, but Josh Elliott is away in a hack already. He was absolutely livid throwing away the 600 on the last lap of the Supersport race earlier on, and I think he wants to make amends here and maybe have another look at that lap record.
Yeah, it was a great start. It did look indeed as though Derek had to clutch the bike in again to get it rolling, but he's back in, up with the leader, Josh Elliott, at the moment as he exits turn 4, Bridgestone corner. And it's Thomas O'Grady who's in 3rd place. Not good enough at the minute if he wants to take this tightly. He's going to have to find a way, whatever way the point system works. Thomas O'Grady needs to win his championship is to finish ahead of Derek Shields no matter what happens.
Yeah, that's the case as they drop into 7A and 7B for the first of 8 laps here. The grand finale, ladies and gentlemen, the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship is about to be decided, and let's not forget about the Superbike Cup class as well, where Andrew Worthy leads Jamie Collins by 11 points, and we'll keep a close eye on that as well down through the field. But we have to get the leaders sorted at the end of this opening lap. They're around Devaney's, and then they drop down into Paddock Bend for the first time. A 4-bike cluster of machines come around Paddock Bend and up into Southside Motor Factors for the first time. Josh Elliott very hard on the brakes. Thomas O'Grady is having a go here. He knows he has to get ahead of Shields, and nothing else will do.
Yeah, he's done it on numerous occasions in the latter half of this championship series, so he knows he's got the better of him. As we watch him come into turn 1 Maxis again and take a look at the Cup Championship at the minute. Jamie Collins is indeed ahead of Andrew Weirty, but he needs to bank more points. Finishing ahead of Weirty isn't just enough at the moment. As we turn our attention back to the Superbike Pro category, it is still Josh Elliott ahead of Derek Shields, and a fastest lap there from Tom O'Grady, so he's definitely on the money with the bike at the moment and is putting in better lap times and staying with the leaders pack.
Yeah, but just the opening lap too, Andy, so we won't read too much into that. The opening lap, you know, it is from a standing start, so we shall see how this develops. But certainly Thomas O'Grady is in touch with the leaders like he couldn't manage to do just in the first race after lunch, as Josh Elliott is really on a mission here and determined to make up for that slide off in the 600 race. And he's not worried about any championships here. He said, saying to himself, these lads can fight it up behind me, and if they're going to want this championship, they're going to have to beat me as well. I'm sure he's thinking that as they peel into Bahrain Benz for the second time. It is Josh Elliott, Derek Shields and Thomas O'Grady. Alan Kenny unable to keep in touch with them as Josh Elliott gets it around Devaney's again. Derek Shields right in the wheel tracks, and Thomas O'Grady is right there as well, Andy. This really is anybody's race again.
Yeah, just looking at fastest sectors there from Derek Shields, and that's evident with the inroads he's made to that slight lead that Josh Elliott had. But Thomas O'Grady's dropped back just ever so slightly, but he might make it up on the straights as he gets that R1 lit down the straight. 4th place is Alan Kenny, 5th place Kevin Keys. We're waiting on Johnny Campbell, and then we get our eyes on, and he just knows Brian McCormick is out on that FHO S1000 RR as well. So taking a look, the fastest lap from Derek Shields on that last lap, and we're going to take a look now. Jamie Collins still leads Andrew Weirty, but it's not enough to overtake his championship lead.
Yeah, Derek Shields another fastest lap, 1 minute 41.170. They're in the 141s. This is phenomenal speed from these top 3 men, all of them in the 141 bracket. Thomas O'Grady 1 minute 41.3, Derek Shields 1 minute 41.17, and Josh Elliott 1 minute 41.279. These men are really on the limit here, and it's several years since we've seen Superbike action like this. We certainly haven't seen pace like this in many years. Josh Elliott really has been a revelation to the whole Masters series here this year, and it's just a joy to watch him out on track here, and he holds off the very close attentions of Derek Shields on the Roadhouse Macau BMW, then Thomas O'Grady on the Clear Energy Solutions EICL R1 Yamaha. There's Kevin Keys just turning into Bahrain-Benz on his Daracor Racing R1 Yamaha. Kevin Keys running there in 5th position, but back with the leaders around Paddock Bend, and it is still Josh Elliott. Something has to happen here, Andy. Something will happen, I have no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. It's touch and go, nip and tuck all over the track. It's hard to keep pace with hard to keep track of the pace that the front runners are running, as well as the cup riders that we're expecting around at any moment. And here comes Brian McCormick on that FHO BMW M1000 RR.
Josh Elliott has another fastest lap, 1 minute 40.948. He's into the 1 minute 40 bracket. That's lap record pace again for Josh Elliott. Derek Shields finds himself 4/10ths back, and Thomas O'Grady is coming, you know. He certainly isn't giving up on this one. And this is just a shootout to the end. How much more exciting can it absolutely get? It's just fantastic stuff indeed. And we're just looking at the cup class. Daniel Matheson still leads it. Jamie Collins is in that 2nd place, but Andrew Worthy safe in the knowledge that if he can keep Jamie Collins in his sights, he will have this championship secured. Josh Elliott still leads it here, Andy, on the way out of Lola down onto Daly's Drift.
Yeah, I know pit boards are important, but Thomas O'Grady doesn't need one. He just knows he needs to finish ahead of Derek Shields. So he's sitting there pretty all right at a minute, and there's still 5 laps to go. So a lot of time left in this race. But he knows if he wants that championship, he's going to have to pass Derek Shields. And at the moment, he's not in a good place to do that.
Not just quite close enough, but you know, you don't know what's in the bag here, you know. Tommy might be just playing the waiting game and seeing what's going on, and just trying to keep pace with these two very quick men. And you know, he's right there. He's right in the wheel tracks of Shields as they enter Paddock Bend. There's 3 bikes all together. Not very much in this at all. It's closer. Shields is up the inside of Elliott. Can he make it stick? Brilliant stuff from Derek Shields. Puts a bike between him and Thomas O'Grady. Sensational stuff from Shields.
Absolutely astonishing. I mean, he turned that bike in where he really shouldn't have been able to hold that line, but he did. He managed to get a great drive out as well. It's a fantastic experience from Derek Shields.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Derek Shields. Puts a bike between him and Thomas O'Grady, and that's a way of securing a championship if you ever saw it. Tommy really has work to do now. Josh Elliott won't give up either, but this really is fantastic stuff once again from the 82 machine of Derek Shields. Brilliant stuff. The Roadhouse Macau BMW, Derek Shields and his crew back for another championship. Everything is just on the line here, ladies and gentlemen. Can Thomas O'Grady respond?
I'm not too sure now. If he was going to make a pass on Shields, he should have really gone earlier. Of course, we have the benefit of hindsight up here in the tower, but we'll take a look at the laptop times now that Derek Shields has got clear road in front of him. Even though the advances of Josh Elliott are certainly going to be coming, Shields may drop the hammer, and he has the fastest lap of the race so far with a 140.796. And see, the next one is going to be even more important.
Yeah, and as you say, the clear track in front of him, but Thomas O'Grady not getting dropped. And if anything, Shields is gapping Josh Elliott. Josh Elliott, is he finally running out of steam at the very end of the Dunlop Masters Championship? He's had a busy year in the 600. He had a slide off earlier on, off the 600, maybe just feeling the effects of that. But Derek Shields is oblivious to all of what's going on behind him. Hard on the brakes into Southside Motor Factors. Elliott has a dive in. Oh, dear me. And Thomas O'Grady, this is just not over, Andy. There's still 3 laps to go, and it's all to play for here. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how to call this, but Josh Elliott then stabbing the brakes at the very last minute, but no. Derek seems to have the master of the turn-in points for Southside Motor Factors and turn 1, Max's corner as well, not leaving so much as a gap for any of the riders to exploit.
Yeah, and 2 very vital passing points on the track, Andy, as well, as you well know. So as they cross the line, ladies and gentlemen, just a quarter of a second to cover the top 3 here. Sensational stuff as Shields peels it off around into Bridgestone Turn 4 once again. You can throw a blanket over the three of these bikes. We haven't seen Superbike action like this for many, many years at Mondello Park. And you know what? If it is a fact that we lose Thomas O'Grady to Spain next year, the Masters Series will be all the less for the loss of him. But we shall see what happens next year. Derek Shields, Josh Elliott and Thomas O'Grady. He's not finished. He is not. He's up the inside of Elliott, and Thomas O'Grady has made his move. Now he has Shields in his sights. Brilliant stuff from Thomas O'Grady. We are down for a last couple of laps shootout. Tommy is going for it here, Andy.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. It has to be at this point, because the next time they come around, they're only going to have 2 laps left to sort out this title once and for all. In the Cup Challenge then, it's still going the way of Jamie Collins leading. He's got past Daniel Matheson, but he still needs more points than are available at the minute.
Okay, we're going back to the leaders, Andy, because this is getting too exciting to go all the way back down the field. Thomas O'Grady hard on the brakes into Southside Motor Factors, has Shields right in his sights, and Shields knows it, ladies and gentlemen. It's all to play for here. 2 laps remaining in the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. 1 point in the difference in the championship. It's brilliant stuff indeed. What's going to happen here? Shields, can he hang on? Can Thomas O'Grady mount that challenge? He so dearly loved to be able to do so. They disappear from our view up into the countryside of Turn 3, and we pick them up. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Shields, a very, very defensive line into Turn 3.
Yeah, probably the most important Dunlop Masters race we've ever seen in the history of the championship, as we watch Thomas O'Grady take a look around Derek Shields. There's nowhere there at the moment as I head out of Turn 4 Bridgestone into Lola.
This is just incredible stuff, Andy. I don't mind telling you, ladies and gentlemen, my heart is pumping here watching this. This is as exciting a finale I have ever seen to the Masters Series, and Thomas O'Grady is letting it all on the line here. He's up the inside of Shields into 7A and 7B. Shields bites back. Oh, and Shields is back in front again through 7B. Sensational stuff from these two men.
And again, O'Grady's coming at him on the entry to Brands Bend, but just
Elliott
couldn't make it.
Finished yet either, Andy. This is just incredible stuff. They're swapping lead every corner. Thomas O'Grady, you can't fault them here for trying. This is absolutely phenomenal. Just a lap and a bit to go. Down into Paddock Bend they come. What's going to happen into Southside Motor Factors? Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep them all on board, please. Don't ruin this one. Thomas O'Grady, cleverly enough, just holds it back in the slipstream up the main straight, and it's all going to be about into the final turn. Last lap flag is there. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the grand finale. How exciting does it get?
Thomas O'Grady, just biding his time. I think he knows that in the back parts of the track that he's a little bit vulnerable, Derek Shields, and that's, I think, where he's going to make his mark as he follows him now out into Turn 3.
O'Grady got a little bit of a slide on the exit of Turn 1, and that may have just upset his rhythm, but he certainly is going to have a go. Oh, Shields, it's all about the drive out of Turn 3, down into the main arena, so into Bridgestone Turn 4. The excitement is really too much for us here. O'Grady is right there. Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? Derek Shields knows he's there. They're loving this out there. Everything is on the line. The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship out onto Daly's Drift for the very final time in the Masters Superbike Championship.
O'Grady's trying to get another drive out of the corners as they go into, and he has another look inside 7A, but he's outbraked himself.
He doesn't, and that's it. That's it. I think Shields will hold on. He did outbrake himself into 7A, but he might just get back to have another stab into Southside Motor Factors. This is absolutely incredible action, ladies and gentlemen. Through Bahrain Bends for the last time, around the valleys. Thomas O'Grady is right there. There's no move here on Paddock Bend. Really, if there is, it's going to be a suicide move, not really available to them. So it's all about the last corner, and up they come into Southside Motor Factors for the last time. Can he do it? He's
just
up
a little gap.
He's
having a look. Can he make it stick? He does. He leads in. Shields goes a little bit wide, picks the bike up.
That's it.
And I think Thomas O'Grady is going to take the win as he goes under the checkered flag. He does indeed, and takes the 2022 Pro Superbike Championship. What a breathtaking race.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. What a move from Thomas O'Grady. Derek Shields got relegated back to third place at the end of it all. An absolutely sensational ride from Thomas O'Grady. Absolute Best of congratulations from us all here in the commentary box, and well done to Peter McMahon, Noel Williamson and all the team down there. It's been incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Shields, the first man to congratulate Thomas O'Grady. I know Derek is disappointed, but you know what? Hats off to Thomas O'Grady. He gave it everything, pushed him out wide. Let's see what's happened in the Cup class, Andy.
Jamie Collins has just gone past the post. Andrew Weirty is next up. Not enough for Jamie Collins taking the race win, but the Championship Cup win goes to Andrew Weirty, number 39 on the BMW S1000RR. Two cracking races combined, and
dear me, ladies and gentlemen, catch your breath after that. A monster burnout from Thomas O'Grady. Wonderful, wonderful stuff indeed. A double champion here at Mondello Park this afternoon. Super Twins champion 2022. And who would have believed that Thomas O'Grady, the 2022 Dunlop Masters Superbike champion. Fantastic stuff. The smoke is blowing across all the way over to the village of Clane. Unbelievable stuff indeed. Wow, catch your breath after that. My heart was pumping here in the last couple of rounds. I have to honestly say, ladies and gentlemen, I've never been so excited about a race in all my life. That was absolutely sensational stuff. Wow, catch your breath.
Just absolute steam pouring off Thomas O'Grady's bike. So whether he's done the mother of all burnouts, I'm not quite sure, but great to see the first man to congratulate him was indeed Derek Shields. Great camaraderie between the two guys. And watching Thomas O'Grady take up his position as the 2022 Superbike Pro champion.
Yeah, wow, getting the congratulations from all the crew there. This is absolutely brilliant. Thomas O'Grady, brilliant stuff. I didn't know what was going to happen on that last corner, but he let it all hang out. Ducked up the inside of Shields, and Derek really had nowhere to go, left that little gap and had to sit up. Thomas O'Grady managed it, ladies and gentlemen, but not forgetting, of course, Andrew Weirty. Great championship for him. Hard luck to Jamie Collins, but it really was sensational stuff in the Superbike class. Thomas O'Grady, he's shaking his head down there in disbelief. You know, it's just so good to see. This is just amazing pictures here from the finale of the Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. It's been a blast, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Shields has the helmet off. He's down there and he's getting the Dunlop hat. I'm sure he's not really that interested in the hat, but he's probably going to be first up to give the best wishes to Thomas O'Grady. There's no two ways about that. Certainly was the first man to shake his hand around turn one. Great sportsmanship, Derek. It's been a fantastic year, and thanks for your input into the series. It's been a blast. Thank you very much indeed, lads. We're waiting on Fergus Brennan for the podium presentations to come. So I think we will be wrapping up here very shortly in the commentary tower, and before Fergus Brennan takes over, I'd just like to thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along to all the rounds here at Mondello Park, which has been an amazing Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship. It's been phenomenal. Also like to thank Andy Quinn, my new co-commentator for the year. It's been great, Andy. We've had a brilliant time, and you know, the racing has been sensational. This has really been the culmination of a brilliant year, a lot of input and a lot of effort by the Dunlop Masters Championship organisers. It's been phenomenal, and it's going from strength to strength, and hopefully 2023 we'll see more of the same.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. To cap it off with such a sensational finish to such an entertaining championship has been really remarkable, and it's been a pleasure to be up here with you. Thanks again for your assistance learning this commentary gig, James, and looking forward to 2023 already again. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So any moment now, we're seeing all the hugs and handshaking going on in the paddock, and Thomas O'Grady looks absolutely thrilled to bits, and why wouldn't he be? He had it all to do, having a 1 point deficit. He knew he had to get past Derek Shields Summer, and that's what he did indeed. Took the task.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal, Andy, and very shortly we'll be handing over to Fergus Brennan, and we can wrap it up here in the commentary box. It's all about the riders down there, and no, it's not about us. and we will very shortly be handing over to Fergus Brennan, and I'm certainly going to make my way down to the podium and congratulate these men because they have been sensational all year. Don't forget Josh Elliott. Josh Elliott, what an addition to the championship this year. It's been sensational, Josh. It's been a pleasure to have you along, the ever-smiling Josh Elliott. But for the moment, from myself and Andy Quinn up here in the commentary tower, it's been sensational. I'm going to hand over to Fergus Brennan for the podium presentations. Over to you, Fergus.
Thanks, lads. What a finish to the season. We couldn't have asked for better. We've never previously had a championship finish on the last day. But to go from that to finishing on the last corner, the last lap of the last race, it's just been sensational. And I have to say thank you to all of these riders. And I think all of the riders, ladies and gentlemen, in all of the classes need a big round of applause for the show they put on today. Let's give them a round of applause. Thanks to everybody who's been competing here this weekend and all year in the Masters Superbike Championship. But now we're going to get on to what's really important. In third place, I have to catch my breath there. In third place in Superbike Cup, it's Daniel Matheson. We will also have our Southern Star Awards. Hopefully they've managed to work out the points on them. Second place, and the new Masters Superbike Cup champion, Andrew Werty. And one of the stars of this season, a fantastic step up from Supersport last year into Superbike this year, heading for the Superbike Pro ranks next year. Hopefully he can keep the performance up. All the way from Cork, Jamie Collins, the Ballyhooly Bullet. Fantastic racing between these two lads, these three, Andrew, James and Jamie, all year in the Cup. Daniel, great performance, great season for you. We've really enjoyed watching you racing.
Yeah, I can't fault that. Like I said, the guys have been brilliant racing all year, so just even trying to tag along with them, I was happy. Good start, got stuck in. Me and Jimmy had a wee bit of a bump, and then I knew there was championship points going on, so I just sort of got in behind him and tried to follow him as much as I could. But no, delighted with the year, so thanks to everyone that helps, private sponsors and main sponsors, but thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm going to talk to Jamie next. We'll leave the champion to last. Jamie, you did everything you could. Nobody could fault your level of effort or your performances there this year. That was fantastic.
Yeah, look, we got a great bike underneath us, a great team behind me, and a lot of sponsors that have put a lot of time and effort into everything. Savage race with Andrew. Unfortunately, we had 3 offs this year. Just couldn't pull it back. Coming into this weekend, had an off yesterday, wasn't too happy about it. But look, to take away 2 wins today, I'm thrilled, and let's go for next year.
Well, we look forward to that.
Just like to say thanks to all my sponsors, Caulfield, Husqvarna, RDS Autos, Collins Heating and Plumbing. I'm just trying to read them off the bike here because there's so many I can't keep track, but thanks to everyone.
Okay, well done, Jamie. Don't go away. Hop up there for a second. Andrew, come down here. You only really came back to this sport last year, and here you are now as the Superbike Cup champion.
Yeah, absolutely wouldn't have thought I could possibly get here that soon, but absolutely thrilled, delighted to get to win.
And you have a great bunch down there with the DM Groundworks and Werty Racing down in that garage. It's been a fantastic year for all of you.
To be honest, all the lads down there just made the whole year. It was absolutely brilliant crack all year, and just everyone enjoyed themselves, everyone went well. Can't thank all the lads as much for what they do and all the help all year.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Andrew. A big round of applause for our 2022 Superbike Cup champion, Andrew Werty. These are our top 3 in the championship as it stands. Daniel Matheson, Jamie Collins and Andrew Werty in that order. Now, just hang on there. Are these the top 3 as well?
Jamie's first and Andrew's second.
No, then why are they swapping? Jamie. Who? Give us the top 3.
Jamie Collins first, Andrew second, and Daniel
So, Jamie, there's some consolation for you winning over the last 2 events, for being the top performer over the last 2 events. You were the Southern Star champion. Andrew second and Daniel third. Thanks very much, lads, for all your entertainment this year. We're going to move now on to the main Superbike race. And they've saved the best to last. We've had a fantastic weekend's racing this weekend. Saturday's race was phenomenal, but we couldn't have thought that they could go better than that, and they did today. And we have to congratulate all of them on the show that they put on. We had to have a photo finish to separate third and second, and in the end, the verdict went to Derek Shields. So in third place is Josh Elliott. Josh Elliott on the AKR Thomas Bourne Racing, their first season in the championship, and what an addition to the championship they've been. We're delighted to have them here. Brought a huge level of professionalism to the championship, so thanks to all of them for their efforts. In second place, part now of the closest championship finish ever, previous Dunlop Masters Superbike champion, Derek Shields. And our winner, and before we came into this season, hadn't won a Superbike race, but not for the want of trying. He'd been second so many times, but he's now the Dunlop Masters Superbike champion 2022. It's Thomas O'Grady! Josh, you were never going to be a factor in this championship, but you've been a great addition to it. Joining it as you did with only 2 rounds left to go, you were never going to figure it, but you certainly figured in the entertainment we've had this weekend.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome just to be a part of it. So thank you very much, and thank you to the crowd as well. The support I've got since joining the championship has been brilliant, and I just really enjoyed that race. We didn't have a new tyre for that one, so I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew there was going to be a lot of sliding, spinning up. So got to the lead and tried to manage it, and then Derek came past me and sat in behind him because I knew he had a fresh tyre. So I said, right, I'll just follow him. And then Thomas came past me then, so I was like, right, I'm just going to see what happens here. I knew those two were going for the championship, so I was like, I didn't want to get too involved. And yeah, going into the last corner, I seen Thomas made a big move, and I was hoping to sort of pick up the pieces a wee bit and try and squirt it up the inside and get ahead of him. But no, brilliant weekend, fantastic racing, and yeah, hopefully we might be back next year.
Well, we'd love to see that. We'd love to see it on a properly sorted bike with a bit more experience, and hopefully with the same team. A great job.
Yeah, big thank you to the team as well, the AKR Thomas Bourne Racing team. They went out and got me a CBR 1000 there, and yeah, I'm just trying to give back to them, the results. So yeah, big thank you to them and everyone for the support.
Thanks very much, Josh. A great addition to our championship this year, and great to have this man back as well for the full championship. Derek, what did you think when you saw Thomas coming up the inside of you?
Which time? I don't know. There was a few times. I honestly thought he was heading for the gravel there, one of them, and I don't know how he kept it on the track, but no, fair play, he rode a good race. There was a bit of brain rain that sort of affected me there in the front. I wasn't pushed in front, but fair play to the team, big Hong Kong John there and Foxy all year. They've been flat out, prepping the bike, and I enjoyed the championship as much as I enjoyed any other championship. And in fairness, Tommy deserved it there. He done the last lap, last corner, trick down to took it to the cross the line.
So you're happy with the way it went. Obviously, it must be a little bit of disappointment with not getting the championship to add to your previous ones.
Not really, to be honest. It was good racing. That's what I come here for. Good tight racing. So, the man won on the day, so that's his race to have and his championship to have.
Okay, well, thanks very much for those words. Derek, been a great performer here over a number of years. Great to have Derek Shields back and up on the second spot and second in the championship. Thomas, hop down here. I can't imagine that we'll ever have a more popular championship winner than this, mainly because of the amount of time you've put into this over the years of trying to get up there, and how much you have improved yourself and your bike, and all the people around you have worked, how hard they've worked to get you to where you are. So it's fantastic to see you here.
I'm trying to hold back the tears, to be honest, because there's a few people that aren't here to see it, and it means an awful lot. I want to thank all the lads that I raced against this year, all the organisers, the marshals, all the sponsors, everyone, my family. It's been amazing.
You've been amazing. You've done a great job, and to pull off that move on the last corner of the last lap of the championship has just made the whole year. It's been brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thanks everybody. Fair play.
Hop back up there, Tommy. We do have some more awards. I have to ask Eamon once again, what way is this? Exactly the same. So 2 championships. He's waited a long time for one. Now he's got 2. Southern Star champion as well, 2022. Thomas O'Grady. Derek Shields second in the Southern Star, and Josh Elliott third in the Southern Star, so well done to the top three. That's all from us. Thank you all for being here. Hope you've enjoyed the show we put on. And we hope to see you all back here again next year, both on the live stream with the help of Maxis and the Harris Group, with the help of Dunlop, our main sponsor, with all of our other sponsors. I'm forgetting them all now. Superbikes.ie, Principal Insurance, DM Groundworks, FJS Plant, Sorcon, and Darracor, and all of the other people who've been involved. One thing I need to say, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who's got a ticket in the draw for the BMW, that BMW draw will take place very shortly, and if you could be in to win and take home a BMW with you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching the live stream. We hope that we'll be back in exactly the same format with you next year with a bigger and better show, and we're looking forward to it. So roll on to 2023 Dunlop Superbike Championship.
The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship live stream is delivered by Maxis Commercial Vehicles and the Harris Group. The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship is supported by Dunlop Tyres, Maxis Commercial Vehicles, the Harris Group, Principal Insurance and Superbikes.ie. The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship live stream is delivered by Maxis Commercial Vehicles and the Harris Group. The Dunlop Masters Superbike Championship is supported by DM Groundworks, FJS, Darracor, Sorcon Plant and Need Our Heat.